Hi there folks, welcome to RRTV's live coverage of the Australian Speedway League, and sorry for us seeming a little bit distracted tonight. We have been fighting gremlins now for the last hour or so, but we finally have got on air, and I'd like to introduce my co-commentators tonight. It's myself, Bernie Weemers. I've got Sean O'Hara in the booth with me, as well as Clint Smith. Hi guys, it's been hectic, but at least we made it.
Yeah, it certainly has, Bernie. It's always those things when things don't quite go right. Obviously, apologies to the viewers for running a bit late, but we are glad we can make it here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We can see the street stock guys out there at the moment doing their warm-up. We're going to be going into qualifying very soon, folks. But before we do that, let's have a look at the street stock point score so you can see where your favourite driver stands in this series. So as we bring that up, it's being led at the moment by Brett Wheeler. You can see him in the number one car out there at the moment on the high line. In second place is Daniel Gow on 424 points. Ryan Gorton, he sits on third on 408 points. John Schultz in fourth on 406 points, and rounding out your top five in the street stocks is Gavin Sadler on 392 points.
Yeah, we saw Zach Masters lose the lead there after that unfortunate night that he had the other night. It's just so important that you don't try and DNF, but you need to try and finish. But Zach last week just had a shock of a round, and now sees him from the lead down in that sixth position.
Yeah, so a bit of work to do for him, and at the moment, folks, we've got about 22 cars joining the server, so it's definitely going to be a great night for the street stocks. For everyone new to this series or competition, basically the way it works, it's like real world speedway. We're going to start with the street stocks tonight. The guys will qualify, we'll go through all the heats, we'll have the semi-finals, and then we'll end up with the final race. After that, we'll go to a quick break, and we'll come back straight after that with the dirt midgets. Once again, go through the heats for the dirt midgets. Then we'll have the main B and the main A finals, and then finally we'll end the night off with the sprint cars, which will follow the same format. So a great night of speedway racing here coming your way on RRTV. So hopefully you guys will strap yourselves in, get your favourite beverage, and hopefully we're going to have some great action coming your way soon.
Yeah, Bernie, these Speedway nights are proving to be a great format, and with the three classes over the night, definitely proves for some good racing throughout the night. With just under a minute left of practice here, we'll just go through the format tonight for your Down Under Graphics Street Stock Series. So we will finish up practice here in just a minute and run into qualifying, where each driver will get 3 laps on the track on their own to set the fastest lap that they can. That will then set our grid for our 3 heats. Each of those 3 heats will be 8 laps each, and we will be taking the top 5 drivers from each of those 3 heats into our feature tonight, our 30-lap feature. Everybody that doesn't make that top 5 will go into our B main, which will be 12 laps, and we will confirm the transfers once the grids from the heats are sorted.
Yes, that's, as always, great format, and we found previously in the last 3 rounds that it's been excellent racing, and I'm expecting the same again tonight. Looking at our weather tonight, and we'll bring that up for you now. Where is it? Here we go. So it's overcast out there at the moment, 21.1 degrees Celsius, and the wind is coming from the north at 0 kilometres per hour here at Knoxville.
Yeah, we can see that this track's actually been run in a little bit. We can see a really slick line down the bottom there. One of the cautionary things that the drivers need to be careful of here is the really big berm on the inside. If you get that, you will see the cars shoot up to the top of the track, and there won't be much control if you get over that inside berm.
Yeah, well, that's right. We saw that last week, didn't we? When they got over that berm, they got sucked into the fence, and a lot of guys came unstuck, especially later on in the night. We can see now Nathan Britton in the 777. He's coming out to start his qualifying. Now, folks, it is lone qualifying out here, so they won't get balked, and we'll see who sets the fastest lap.
Of course, this track's so big too, Bernie. Momentum is a big part, so we'll see those quick laps starting to come in more towards the end of the third laps rather than the start of the 3 laps.
And we've got Nathan now. He's just coming through to complete his first qualification lap very shortly, and he sets a time of 22.933. So he's the first one out there setting that time. Now they're starting to come in. Shane Davies, 1/10 of a second behind. Zach Masters sitting third, and Tim Harris fourth. But we're still waiting to see what Brett Wheeler can do out here, as he's coming in as the favourite in the championship.
Yeah, he'll be looking for a good show here tonight, obviously leading the championship. We saw, like I said earlier, Zach Masters losing that lead, so Brett Wheeler wants to have a good show here tonight. Obviously, he has the car to do it. He's shown that multiple times in this series, so definitely the favourite coming into tonight.
Yeah, and Ryan Gorton's just set the fastest time, 22.900, pushing Nathan Britton down. But I tell you what, Nathan threw down the gauntlet there, and here comes Ryan on his second lap. We'll see if he can improve. I'm keeping an eye to see when Brett Wheeler's going to come out. At the moment, he's still sitting in the pits and biding his time. No doubt he'll be waiting to see what these guys set before he comes in, and he's just getting into the car now.
Yeah, he'll have been sitting there looking at these times, knowing that what he needs to chase. So he's going to go out there late in this session and try and get that quick time from Ryan Gorton.
Yeah, so we'll see what he's going to do now. He's coming out on his warm-up lap, and hopefully he'll do all right. We have seen previously, though, that he struggled earlier in the evening, but he's come good towards the end. So we'll see what this is going to do. As we see, he's just clipping that wall. Looks like they're having a bit of trouble there with the what would you call it? It's not really the ruts, but you know the name, that technical thing you call it.
Yeah, that slick spot there, just entering the corner. They are going to have to be careful of that. Looks like most of them are running above that slick at the moment, so they are going the long way around the track as we see Brett try and slide through that slick to hit the bottom line. So he's going to try and set this lap at the bottom of the racetrack. So this will be interesting to see what time he can put in now.
Yeah, and he's just coming around now to set that time. We'll get it very shortly, and just trying to get it. 23.475 was his first time, so that's not even in the top 13. So he's sitting 20th at the moment.
Definitely looks to be struggling with that car a little bit, Bernie. It's not what we were expecting here. So we can see him searching around the racetrack. He went low in 1 and 2, then back up high in 3 and 4. Let's see if he can make anything out of this third lap.
No, he's only managed 18th fastest, so a lot of work for Brett Wheeler here tonight.
Yeah, that's a big surprise from Brett there. So obviously this track just not matching to that car at the moment, but I'm sure he will go straight back to the pits and work on that for you. The heat's a big uphill battle for him here tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I'm just resetting our overlays because we're having yet more gremlins here tonight.
So Ryan Gorton at the moment is your fast time with a 22.899. Second is Nathan Britton with a 22.933. Lewis Hewitt is in your third position with a 22.984. Joel Berkeley not quite able to get into 22, sitting at 23.04 in your fourth position. Fifth is Lewis Clark at 23.05. Sixth position, Marcus Kanitzka on 23.051. Seventh, Josh Harm. Eighth, Shane Davies. Ninth, Tim Harris. And 10th, John Schultz. Zach Masters, just a note, missing out on that top 10 in 11th. Extremely close here tonight, Bernie. The heats are going to be electrifying.
They certainly are. And just inside that slick, they've got that big berm, I guess you could call it, haven't they? And we noticed Brett there searching as low as he could. Any lower than that, they're going to hit that, and it's going to upset their car for sure. It's almost like the lip on the infield. I'm not sure if it is or not, but this is the first time we've ran at Knoxville in this series, so no doubt the guys will be going through and searching for it. We can see the dummy grid coming up now, Sean, so did you want to call the grid for us?
Yeah, most certainly. Your heat number one tonight for your Down Under Graphics Street Stocks will be Ryan Gorton off your pole position. In second place, we have Joel Berkeley. From third position, we will have Josh Harm. John Schultz will be starting out of fourth position. Fifth position will be Nathan Clark. Sixth position will be Harry Edwards. George Fullerton will be starting out of seventh. Eighth position, Dave Douglas. And ninth will be Rick Burt.
Yeah, and Rick said that DNA livery. And I'll tell you what, Harry Edwards, he's in a new livery from what I can tell tonight. He's running a Red Bull livery.
That's interesting, not running team colours tonight. I'm not sure if it was possibly a skin issue or they couldn't get the stickers on that car, but it'd be interesting to be able to pick him out because he's not in his usual colours.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that. But I tell you what, Knoxville's a huge, wide track, isn't it? Let's have a look at as they're coming through the slick now. The number 9 and the 88, 888, that's Joel Berkeley, Ryan Gorton, already getting into each other, and we're only on the warm-up lap.
Yeah, very wide racetrack, so there's going to be enough room for them to run 3 and possibly even 4 wide here tonight. So, yeah, we see those front two just letting each other know that they're there and they're here to race.
They certainly are, and the pace car will come in shortly. For the heats, folks, there's no safety cars, so we will go green to the end. Here we go, and we can see now Ryan Gorton and the 888 got a great start there, but the 9, that's Joel Berkeley coming back on the inside of him as they come through turn 1.
You see Ryan get the run out of turn 2 there on Joel in the number 9 cars. They run through the slick and up into the high line. Joel looking to get the drive out of turn 4. Doesn't quite do it. Ryan Gorton is your leader for this first lap.
Yeah, the number 11, that's Josh Harm. He's coming into this as well as Joel Berkeley's now coming back on the inside of Ryan Gorton. Gorton right up against the wall. So coming through on lap 2, your race standings are at the moment Joel Berkeley just leading Josh Harm in second. Third, Ryan Gorton is on the high line there. Nathan Clark dropping off the top 3 here, and rounding out your top 5 is John Schultz.
Yeah, we just saw Ryan Gorton there. What I was talking about, momentum, so important. He just got a little bit high, the back fender rubbing on that fence, and that's all it took to allow Joel and Josh to get past. As we see Josh take the lead off Joel Berkeley, and Ryan Gorton takes it off both of them and is now your race leader again.
Here they go 3 wide into the final corner. They're touching, and that's the number 11, Josh Harm, going across that inside berm there that we were talking about. He's now going to come under threat from Nathan Clark, who's closed that, but have a look right behind him. We've got Harry Edwards and George Fullerton going side by side. Tell you what, Sean, this track's so wide, it's great to see some 3 wide racing action here.
Oh, this is fantastic racing at the moment. The track is absolutely perfect for it. There are multiple lines, and we can see everybody's being able to put their car where they need to get forward in this race. So just having a look back at your transfer positions, currently John Schultz and Nathan Clark battling for that at the moment.
Yeah, coming through 6 of 8, and Ryan Gorton still has this lead over Joel Berkeley. They're starting to get that gap over Josh Harm, who we saw in a bit of trouble a couple of laps back, but the 78, I'm trying to get that. Is that the 78? He's got 78 on his car, but he doesn't. Yes, that's John Schultz, sorry. And Harry Edwards, George Fullerton battling him. Further back, though, Dave Douglas and Rick Bird are having a battle for the wooden spoon at the moment.
Your front three have now just pulled a slight gap on 4th, 5th and 6th, but the transfer spot is still wide open. Nathan Clark now in that 6th position as we see Harry Edwards take that 5th position and that final transfer spot for the A-Main tonight. Back underneath, Nathan Clark will get that position back down the back straight.
To the final corner here, final lap, folks. 3 wide they go. Harm on the inside. Then we've got the 9 of Berkeley in the middle and Gorton up high. Both Harm, Berkeley get into each other now. It's still anyone's race as Harm's turned them all around. That's the end of the race, thank goodness. Oh, I got
Great
a bit
racing
worried.
all the way through the field there, Bernie.
It was good racing, wasn't it?
So let's go through your results from that heat. First position was Ryan Gorton, Joel Berkeley in 2nd, Josh Harm in 3rd, John Schultz in 4th position, Nathan Clark in 5th position. 6th position was Harry Edwards, 7th position was George Fullerton, Dave Douglas in 8th position and Rick Burt in 9th. Just an interesting note there, Bernie. That was amazing racing and yet everybody finished where they actually started.
Yeah, exactly right. And I'm just seeing if the drivers have gridded up yet, because they are. I'm just having trouble with these overlays tonight. It's going to drive me mental. But while I'm doing that, did you want to take the viewers through the grid here, Sean?
Heat number 2, Nathan Britton will be your pole man. In 2nd position will be Lewis Clark. 3rd sees Shane Davies. And Zach Masters is in 4th position. 5th position will be James Rice. Gavin Sadler out of 6th position. 7th will be Stephen Watts. 8th position will be Chris Grove. And Brett Morris out of 9th position.
So we can see them there, just queuing up again, folks, for the next race. Get the lap counter up here, 8 laps around here. Hopefully we're going to see how we go in this one and get some more good racing. So we're just waiting now for the pace car to come in. The 777 of Nathan Britton, I think it is, should have control of this field if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. It looks like the number 1 with that white over the blue numbers.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to pick up the numbers, but on the roof it definitely says that 777. And we are under starters orders here, waiting for the green flag. We are green.
And I'll tell you what, the front 2 got napping, didn't they, as the 50.95. That is Zach Masters. He tried to jump on as they go in the high line there, 3 wide. A little bit messy at the start, it must be said, as they come past the camera and complete the first half lap here.
Yeah, the front row just a little bit slow on that throttle, and Zach picked up on that straight away and went straight to the outside to try and make the most of it. Just a little bit wide in turn 1 and just couldn't get that drive, so he's now in 3rd battling with Shane Davies.
Yes, looking at your race standings at the moment, we've got Nathan Britton leading Davies in the number 20. Lewis Clark sitting in 3rd. He's coming under pressure there from Zach Masters, who's doing the over-under in that 95. Then we've got Gavin Sadler, James Rice, Stephen Watts, Chris Grove bringing up the rear.
As they all settle in now, lap number 3, we are starting. Gavin Sadler looking to make that move on the inside of Lewis Clark, running through the middle of the slick there, just putting that right rear above it, trying to get the drive out of the corner. They are still side by side. This is for 4th and 5th.
You can see now Sadler getting that inside run. He's looking good at the moment. And, of course, he's one of the guys they're going to have to keep a close eye on as this night progresses. But at the moment, it's all Nathan Britton out the front with Shane Davies in 2nd. And we're halfway through this race. Top 3 getting a bit of a gap as now Gavin Sadler is making a move on the inside of Zach Masters. No, he's not. He's making a move on the inside of Lewis Clark, sorry.
Yeah, Gavin's so consistent in these. I mean, we were talking about it the other week. he's always there up in the top 10 and battling for top 5 positions. As we see him now, took him 2 laps to do it, but he has managed to now get in front of Lewis Clark. So great driving, great persistence there from Gavin.
And we're riding with James Rice here. You can just see the precision of all 3 of these drivers as they drift through the inside corner again to tick off another lap. We're 6 of 8 laps here, but at the moment Nathan Britton is doing this race fairly comfortably.
James Rice currently on the bubble, looking in, trying to see if he got anything for Lewis Clark. Lewis Clark is back up on the back of Gavin, so this could let James Rice back into this position for the transfer spot.
Yeah, he'll definitely be doing everything he can. We're coming down towards the last lap here, folks, in Heat 2. And we can see there the number 5, the number 19 going side by side. That's Clark and Rice fighting for that transfer spot. But into the final lap, we have Nathan Britton leading, Zach Masters in second, Sean Davies in third.
James Rice might get away with this. He gets a great run on the inside and manages to get that final transfer spot. Great run there from James Rice.
Yeah, right on the line that was. So excellent driving there by James. Pressure driving, I would call that.
Most definitely. Your finishing positions from Heat 2 sees Nathan Britton take that heat from Zach Masters. Third position, Shane Davies. Fourth position, Gavin Sadler. James Rice, as we said, just getting that last transfer spot in fifth position. Lewis Clark in sixth. Seventh position, Stephen Watts. Chris Grove in eighth. And I believe Brett didn't take the start.
Okay. So coming into Heat 3 now, folks, the number 3, Lewis Hewitt. He's going to start from pole. Keep an eye on Lewis tonight. On the outside of him, we've got the 55 of Marcus Knitska. Looking down into the second row, we have the number 17 of Tim Harris on the inside and the number 13 of Troy Smith on the outside. Moving down to the third row, we will have the number 24. That's Matthew Lawson. He will be starting on the inside of the number 34 of Daniel Page. Now keep an eye out for the number 1. That's Brett Wheeler starting on the high side in 7th, and a lot of work to do for Brett there. And rounding out your field of 8 is the number 43 of Dylan Peters.
We come around for one lap to go. The pace car will pull in and we will see the start of Heat 3 tonight for your Down Under Graphics Street Stock Series.
So the question's going to be, out of this, what can Brett Wheeler do? Is he going to come through the field and make good of a poor qualifying, or is he going to be in for a long night?
I'm sure he would have jumped straight back to the pits and made changes to that car. He would have got a feel for it in qualifying. He knows he's going to have to pass a couple of cars to get into the final, and that's what it's all about here, just trying to make that transfer as the pace car pulls in.
It's under green here now. Lewis Hewitt gets a good start. Keep an eye up the back as Brett Wheeler's going straight for the high line there. He's sitting in 5th at the moment. So as we come through turn 1, we have the number 3, Lewis Hewitt. He's leading the 17 of Tim Harris. Marcus Knitska now getting split here as Brett Wheeler comes down the inside. I tell you what, Sean, Brett is on a mission here tonight.
Oh, most definitely. We saw him put it through the middle there, trying to make it 3 wide. He got some great drive through the middle and out of turn 2. And now we see him working the bottom. He knows he's in that transfer now, but that won't be good enough. He's definitely going for these front 2. Lewis Hewitt and Tim Harris out in front.
As he just makes that move on the inside of Marcus there. Marcus went a bit high. That's got the 13 of Troy Smith into the side of him, as Marcus is just trying to pick up or fix that mistake. But at the moment, Lewis Hewitt is getting a bit of a gap out here with the Tim Harris following him. But Brett Wheeler, can he close him down? Lap 3 of 8.
The teammates out in front, Lewis Hewitt and Tim Harris being chased down by Brett Wheeler at the moment. Brett running that bottom line, trying to get as much drive off the bottom as he can. doesn't look like he's making up too much on these front two. But obviously he's in the transfer spot, so he doesn't need to do too much more. Just try and learn what this track's going to do and try and get set up for that feature.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the 55, that's Market Kanitska is trying to go with him at the moment as they come through. We just finished lap 5 of 8 here, folks, and another clean race here at Knoxville. But the teammates, Lewis Hewitt, Tim Harris, they're been pretty strong in this race, that's for sure, and it bodes well for them later on tonight.
Yeah, their car's looking really smooth. They're actually running through the middle of that slick, so they have those cars dialed right in for this racetrack.
I'll tell you what, Brett's pit crew have been working hard. He had a very poor qualifying earlier tonight. They've turned that setup around and he's sitting in third at the moment. I think when he gets it back in, though, they're going to feel like there's a little bit more that they can get out of that car.
Yeah, most definitely. He'll see these two pulling away from him a little bit, so that will definitely give him some drive to try and find something else in this car if he wants to run with these two in the feature.
Yeah, so we're down to the final lap now. Lewis Hewitt's led all the way so far in this race. What's his teammate going to do? Is he going to sit in or is he going to have a crack at this as they go nose to tail through the final corner here? And we'll soon find out.
Lewis Hewitt holding on for the win there. Tim Harris in second, Brett Wheeler in third. Marcus Kanitska is your fourth position finisher, along with Troy Smith in fifth position.
And Lewis Hewitt's popped that motor right at the end, but thankfully it's a simulation, so they'll get a new car pretty quickly.
They will, but the crew won't be very happy having to change that in between the heat and the feature.
Yeah, that's for sure. So coming into Heat 4 tonight, folks, and we will take you through the grid very shortly. We're just waiting for all the crews to form up on the dummy grid here, and then we'll be underway. We're just waiting on Lewis Clark. He's seated in first, and the number 43 of Dylan Peters. As we see now, we're still waiting on Dylan Peters. He's going to have to hurry or else he's going to miss this.
Yeah, they do have a set time to make it to the dummy grid. If they miss that, then they won't be starting. And being that this is the B main, you definitely want to be starting to get that position as we see him just pull up there in time on the dummy grid.
Yeah, so starting the B main here, 12 laps, folks. Still, there will be no safety cars or pace yellows at this time. Did you want to take us through the grid here, Sean?
Certainly, your B main for tonight sees Harry Edwards off the pole position. Beside him will be Lewis Clark. In third position, we see Matthew Lawson. Fourth position sees George Fullerton. Stephen Watts will be starting out of fifth. Dylan Peters will be starting out of sixth. In seventh position, we have Dave Douglas. Chris Grove will be starting out of eighth. Ninth position, Daniel Page. Rick Burt is out of 10th. And I'm not sure if Brett's he didn't take his position in the heat. I'm not sure he's out there, but if he is starting in 11th, Bernie.
Okay, we've only got 10 cars out here at the moment, waiting for starters' orders.
Looks like a couple have just missed that start, so that's unfortunate.
It certainly is, and I tell you what, Dylan just made it to the start line.
Probably a last few adjustments he just needed to make to that car, so obviously the pit crew running around frantic there trying to make those changes and still get him to the start of this race.
Yeah, well, I just don't think they're they got it there just in time, but the pace car's in now. Harry Edwards, he is going to have control of this, and we're a green flag here for the B main, folks. Harry Edwards on the inside of Lewis Clark as they come into turn one. Further back though, 3 wide. As we can see, that's George Fullerton on the high line there, and right behind him is Matthew Lawson, Dylan Peters.
Yeah, George Fullerton, we can see there running that city car from Days of Thunder. So great. Oh, sorry, that's not George. My apologies. Dylan Peters running that scheme there. Still a great scheme.
So that's the number 43 as we see them come through. There's a bit of a spinner at the back. That's the DNA Motorsports entry going around. So he will be effectively out of contention in this race as we go through lap 2 now. We have Lewis Clark. He's starting to work that low line on Harry. Can he make this stick as he's just drifting up a little bit? No contact, but it's getting mighty tight up here.
Yeah, definitely trying to make that inside line work. We see him just run through that slick and get a little bit sideways. Just lost that momentum, so Harry Edwards gets the run out of the corner. But he is staying on that middle line, so he thinks that is obviously the better line for him to try and take the lead here. Just falling back a little bit now from Harry, so he'll change it up and follow Harry into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, and keep an eye now on Stephen Watts. He came together with Fullerton there slightly, but now he gets a great run through the corner as a 24 of Matthew Lawson drifts high. Matthew Lawson loses 2 positions as the 500 now of Fullerton takes that away from him. Almost the halfway mark, folks, but up front is Harry Edwards in the 66, and he's trying to fend off Lewis Clark on the inside.
Great battle up front. Oh, we see Lewis Clark get a little bit of push through the mid-corner and just get into the driver's door of Harry Edwards, but they managed to keep it going. Harry Edwards is still your leader. Lewis Clark in second. And here comes Stephen Watts now, making a move on both these front 2.
Yeah, he's definitely got a run, hasn't he? He's come through the field in this, in that beautifully presented number 15. But here comes Fullerton once again up on the tail. He doesn't have enough momentum though, so Harry Edwards leading Clark once again, then Watts is sitting in third.
Yeah, most definitely, Bernie. You said the most important word here tonight. It's all about momentum. If you can't keep that momentum, you are going to lose spots extremely quickly.
Yeah, we can see that field spreading out. We're getting battle packs of 2 each now as the 66 continues to lead this race. But I tell you what, Lewis is throwing everything he can at him at the moment. But I tell you what, George is also on fire, not literally, but he's going with Watts, and both of these are going to catch the front 2, and we're almost into a battle pack of 4.
We are starting lap 9 of 12, so if these 2 can get to the front 2, this is going to be a great battle for these front 4 cars. George doing a great job there in 4th, holding on to that 4th position.
As we ride now with George Fullerton, we can just see what the drivers pretty much see, and well, what you'd see on the passenger side. But lap 9 here, you can just hear George working that car, trying to get the thing to slide and carry that momentum through the corners.
Yeah, definitely. George has the better position here now. He can see where all 3 are running their cars, so we can see him just trying to run that different line, see if he can get a little bit better drive than the front 3. So definitely sitting back there is an advantage.
It certainly is. He's searching that high line, isn't he? He's not happy now, though, because he comes back to the slick part of the course to see if that's going to work. Coming down to the last lap marker very, very shortly here, folks. But tell you what, Harry Edwards, he's been leading most of this race, but he hasn't run away with it because Lewis has gone with him every step of the way.
Yeah, great battle between these front 4. We can see now the gap is closed between Lewis Clark and Stephen Watts, but I think they're going to run out of laps, being this is the last lap now.
Yeah, you can see Edwards coming through now. Lewis Clark second. I think this is the way they're going to finish here.
Great finish by your top 4. So Harry Edwards in first, Lewis Clark second, Stephen Watts third, George Fullerton 4th, and your final transfer spot, Daniel Page.
Yeah, then we had the 222, Chris Grove in 6th, 7th, Daniel Peters, Dave Douglas 8th, 9th, Rick Burt, and Matthew Lawson in the 24 did not finish that race. So it looks like we're coming up to the A main here, Sean. Would I be right?
This will be tonight's A main. That is correct. Your first 5 positions from the B main will transfer to your A main. We will get your grid up here in just a moment.
Yeah, and this race, folks, I think it's 20 laps, and we will have cautions being thrown here tonight.
Your A main for tonight sees Ryan Gorton starting out of pole position. In second position, we have Nathan Britton. Lewis Hewitt will be starting out of third position. In fourth, we have Joel Berkeley. In fifth position, we have Zach Masters. Tim Harris will be starting out of sixth position. Josh Harm out of seventh. Shane Davies out of eighth position. Brett Wheeler, obviously the man to watch there in ninth position. We'll be seeing him come through the field, I'm sure. 10th position will be John Schultz. Gavin Sadler in 11th. 12th sees Marcus Knitska. Nathan Clark will be out of 13th. 14th will be James Rice. 15th will be Troy Smith. Harry Edwards will be out of 16th. 17th will be Lewis Clark. Stephen Watts out of 18th. 19th, George Fullerton, and your last position for tonight in A main is Daniel Page.
So, when I stand corrected, it's 30 laps around here tonight, not 20.
Yeah, 30 laps for the street stocks here tonight. It is going to be a little bit of a longer race, just being that the lap times are that little bit longer, looking at an average of about 23-second lap times.
Yeah, you can just see the field now coming through. Ryan Gorton in the 888, and on the outside of him is the 777. That is Nathan Britton.
Be interesting to see if this front row can get a better start. The last 2 heats, that front row has just missed that start. You definitely don't want to miss that start with who's behind that front row.
Yeah, well, teammates, isn't it? The 3 and the 9 of Hewitt and Berkeley. Here we go as we start the final here.
Field very bunched up going into turn 1. 4 wide through turn 1. Zach Masters trying to go through the middle of the 3 and the 9. Joel Berkeley in the 9 and Lewis Hewitt in the 3.
And we had James Rice turned around into turn 1, but the pace car does not come out. So as we come into the first corner, getting very squirrely in the back, but at the moment we have the 9. That's Joel Berkeley leading Hewitt on the inside, and in the sandwich of these is Ryan Gorton in the 888 as he takes the lead going back to the high side. Here comes the 777, and that is Nathan Britton getting into the side of the number 9.
As we go yellow on the racetrack.
So I'm thinking that may have been the 13 might have been involved in that one. What do you think?
Just going back and having a look. Troy Smith there. Yeah, it looks like he may have got a helping hand around there just coming into turn 3. That has brought out your caution for the night.
I think the man that turned him was, well, James Rice wasn't involved. I think it may have been Stephen Watts.
Stephen Watts in your 15 was the man on the inside.
So it's definitely the momentum changes, doesn't it, when we get the yellows coming out. It'll give the guys time to breathe before they go once again. For the folks out there that are interested in where their favourite driver is, if we look at Nathan Britton 4th, Zach Masters 5th, Tim Harris sitting in 6th, Brett Wheeler 7th, Josh Harm 8th, 9th, Gavin Sadler. Rounding out your top 10 at the moment is Shane Davies.
Gavin Sadler again up into that 10, so again making his way up into that top 10. Another good showing here from Gavin Sadler in the GSR entry.
Yeah, and as they come through now, Brett Wheeler will be starting on the inside as we see the cars coming around. So on the inside it'll be Ryan Gorton that'll have control. Then he's got Hewitt on the outside. Right behind him is Hewitt's teammate Berkeley, and then above him will be Britton. That's your first two rows as we are underway once again here at Knoxville.
Great start by Ryan Gordon, gets a 2-3 car lead before he enters turn one, so that's exactly what he needed to get the break on these two, Joel Berkeley and Lewis Hewitt.
Yeah, as we can see now, the teammates Berkeley and Hewitt going side by side. Right behind them is Britton and Harris. Keep an eye on Britton on the high line there as Harris takes him. Now right behind him is Brett Wheeler, trying to search that high line to see if he can get it to work.
Yeah, Brett Wheeler up high there, trying to get that momentum, trying to get that car rolling into the corners, just trying to keep as much speed in the car as possible as the front. Oh, a little bit of a touch from Zach Masters on the 777 of Nathan Britton. Sees him go to the inside wall. He does continue and doesn't bring out the yellow at this stage.
And we had a look further back. It was getting a bit dicey back there. A lot of cars trading paint, but at the moment, Gorton, he's leading this race. He's not running away with it, though, as the teammates Berkeley and Hewitt try to hunt him down.
Zach Masters on the back of Joel Berkeley now, so this is going to be a 4-car battle as Zach just gets a little loose through 1 and 2, so he'll lose all his momentum. And here comes Brett that gets into the back of Zach. He's had nowhere to go there.
So yeah, lap 9 here, Brett's starting to get that momentum. He's working the field there, working that low line, and he's hunting down. He's got Josh Harm at the moment in the 11 above him. Keep an eye on Gavin Sadler. He's coming good at the right time too, as he's going with Wheeler here as they go side by side into, I think it's turn 3.
That's correct, through turn 3, out of turn number 4. They go now 2 wide. Make that 3 wide as they come across the start-finish line.
There's contact at the rear. I'm not sure if it's going to bring out the yellow, though. Both cars continued as Wheeler just gets into the side. Well, he's getting in the side with Nathan Clark there. Here comes Knitska in the 55. He's getting a bit of a run now.
Yeah, Brett Wheeler just getting muscled there a little bit. He has lost all his momentum since he changed down to that low line, so he'll be looking to go back up to that high line, start building that momentum back up.
So just riding with Marcus there. He's just lifted up. We've got a car on the infield circulating, but it has not brought out the yellow. This has been a very long run for these guys, hasn't it? As now Knitska and Wheeler go at it, and right on the inside of them is Nathan Clark in that 25, and he's making them work hard. But at the moment, up front, it's Gorton, Hewitt, Berkeley, Harm, and then we got Zach Masters, then Sadler.
Yeah, your front 4 really spaced out now. Ryan Gordon doing a great job in that first position. We see Gavin Sadler starting to come up to the back of Zach Masters. He'll be looking at making a move as we get to the halfway point of this race.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Wheeler was on the momentum, wasn't he? But in the last few laps, he's been getting into a bit of action there, and he's losing that momentum. If anything, the guys are starting to round him up, and he's starting to forfeit those positions.
Yeah, well, that all started when he got the good run out of turn 2, but didn't have anywhere to go and got into the back of Zach Masters. And like I said, he's just being muscled around a bit here. I don't think he can run the line that he really wants, so he's having to run alternative lines to not get in anybody's way here. So we see him trying to go back up high at the moment now.
Yeah, and he just got turned around. Big accident there. That was a 777 that muscled him around. Nathan Britton brings out the yellow. You can see the number 5 was also involved in that incident. Let's go back and have a look at this under replay. Keep an eye on the 777. He got in the side of the 25, but the 777 then slides up, gets into the back of Brett in the 1, turns him around, and then the 20 comes through straight into the side. And the 20, having a look, that was Shane Davies. The number 5, James Rice, also got involved towards the end of that.
Yeah, that was just hard racing. Everybody just wanted to try and get up onto that high line to get that run. Not much that could be done there.
I tell you what, that was a really long run. That's probably the longest we've seen in the A-main in this series. So they must have ran for, what, a good 14 laps, maybe 13?
Yeah, great green flag run there. These guys, obviously a combination of two things. This track having a lot more room than our smaller tracks. And as well, these guys they've been racing with each other for 4 rounds now. So each of them are starting to respect each other and understand how each other races. So we're starting to get a lot cleaner racing.
Yeah, we certainly are, and let's go through the top 10 as they'll restart here shortly. We have Ryan Gorton. He will start from provisional pole. Lewis Hewitt on the outside of him. Second row, we'll have Josh Harm on the inside, Joel Berkeley on the outside. Going back to the third row will be Zach Masters and Gavin Sadler. And then we have fourth row, Nathan Clark, Mark Knitska, and Stephen Watts and Lewis Clark round out your top 10.
We will see the pace car enter the pits this lap, and we will be back under racing with 10 laps to go.
So just waiting for the pace car to come in, folks. A 888 will have control. They go on green. He goes. Tell you what, he went pretty early, didn't he? He left them all wondering.
Yeah, definitely got a good run out of turn 4, and we see him get a car length lead going into turn 1. Lewis Hewitt now starting to get the momentum back up and pull back up onto that bumper of Ryan Gorton.
Yeah, and Gorton knows he wants that gap, doesn't he? He does not want to start getting involved with trading paint at this point, because if he loses that momentum, he's going to start going backwards. But at the moment, it's all a 888. Then we have the number 3. Keep an eye on the 11 of Josh Harm, and then Joel Berkeley trying to round him out. The 95 coming up, that's Zach Masters, don't write him off. And then we've got Sadler and Knitska going at it.
Lewis Hewitt now right on the back of Ryan Gorton. He's starting to make his move now. We see him move to the inside. This is how it usually works. Let's see if he can go straight back to the top. Great move by Lewis Hewitt. Great run out of turn 2. Can Ryan Gorton return the favour out of turn 4? No, Lewis Hewitt will be your new race leader. Great move by Lewis there.
Yeah, and this is forcing the 888 of Gorton to run that low line. He's not getting that momentum, is he, on the exit? As now we can see the number 9, I think it is, of Berkeley as they go 3 wide into there. And we've got, at the moment, Hewitt leading Harm in the 11. Then we've got Gorton, and then we've got Joel Berkeley. 24 laps complete.
Josh Harm, great drive by him. He's up 5 positions in this race, so we look out for him to make a move on Lewis. He has some speed in that car.
Yeah, now we've got Berkeley on the inside trying to get around the 888, slides up high, does not have the momentum, settles back in. Zach Masters, what can he do? He's dropping off a little bit, but at the moment it's coming down to Hewitt and Harm, and Gorton, he's defending from Berkeley. I think Gorton's in trouble.
Slowing.
Yeah, he's cooked something, hasn't he? He's dropping out.
I think that may be fuel burning. I think he took a little bit of a gamble on that fuel, not expecting there to be so many green flag runs, and it looks like it hasn't paid off for him this time. He's run out of fuel on the back straight.
Yeah, he's not happy by the way he went into the pits there, but at the moment now we've got Hewitt and Harm battling it out, and Joel Berkeley, he's coming in third at the moment. 4 laps remaining, and it's still anyone's race between the 3 and the 11.
I think Josh Harm has the speed in the car to get Lewis, but if he goes off that high line, he knows he's going to have to make the move stick and get back in front of Lewis and take all that momentum, or he's not going to be able to make that move stick. So he's just lining him up here. We have 2 laps to go.
Yeah, and he knows that he's going to have to get this lead, because if a yellow comes out now, it's going to end under caution as we come through once more. Lap 28 of 30 at the moment. Harm now on the inside, coming up into the 3 of Hewitt, pushing him up high there and making that move. Had to be a bit forceful, but he made it work.
Yeah, he got away with that. Obviously, being a sedan, you wouldn't be able to get away with that later in the night in the midget or the street stock. Did we just lose Josh?
We did. He's flashed out. Where's he gone? Yeah, he's got here that he's dropped out of the server by the looks of it. So now we've got the teammates. The number 3 of Hewitt leads the number 9 of Berkeley down to the final lap here. Zach Masters, he's going to have a grin from ear to ear because he's up into 3rd position and he did not have to pass anybody.
Such unfortunate luck for Josh Harm there, obviously getting that position and then getting dropped out. But a great drive by Lewis Hewitt. He held him off for most of the race. Lewis Hewitt, your winner. Joel Berkeley in 2nd position. Zach Masters in 3rd. Marcus Kanitsa in 4th. And Gavin Sadler getting up to that 5th position.
Yeah, then looking further back, we had Stephen Watts classified in 6th, 7th, Nathan Clark. Finishing in 8th was Lewis Clark. 9th, John Schultz. 10th, Harry Edwards. Going further in the field, in 11th was Nathan Britton, and Tim Harris. He rounds out your top 12. So
fantastic drive by everyone there, Bernie. That was a great race. Some really great long green flag runs there.
Oh, there wasn't there? And it caught a few of them out, and we'll go through the rest of the grid here, folks. The 13 of James Rice, the number 5 of James Rice finishes 13th. 14th, Shane Davies. 15th, the 500 of George Fullerton. 16th, Troy Smith. 17th, Josh Harm. 18th, Ryan Gorton. 19th, Brett Wheeler. Something's definitely gone wrong with his campaign here tonight, and classified in 20th was Daniel Page.
The series starting to show a little bit of a curse of the championship leaders. We saw Zach Masters have a really bad run after he came into last week as the championship leader. We see Brett Wheeler come into this round as the championship leader and definitely not have a night he wants to remember.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to probably go back and do a bit of a review, I think, tonight, just to debrief and work out what went wrong. Was it set up? Was it, we did see him getting manhandled around there a little bit tonight.
Yeah, it was strange. At the start of the race, he had some great momentum. He was working that high line, and he was definitely getting a run. But then I'm not sure if the setup in the car changed or the track just went off a little bit, but we did see him fall off the pace really quickly.
Yeah, that's for sure. And coming up very shortly, folks, will be the Dirt Midgets, the Race Merch Midgets. We're just waiting for the room to come up. Then we're going to go to a quick commercial break while we change servers, and then the action will start all over again. And I'll tell you what, I love this. We start with the street stocks, good racing tonight. Let's see what the midgets can do. And, of course, looking forward to when the big bangers come out at the end of this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race merch midget race tonight. As the sun goes down, we will see them racing almost under lights, but we will definitely see the 410s racing under lights tonight. Having a look at the track, the curators here tonight have made it a very racy track, so I cannot wait for these dirt midgets to come out.
Yeah, no doubt they'll go and they'll massage that track and wet it down in preparation for the midgets, and we're just now waiting for that new room to come up, and then we'll go straight to it. Having a look, have we got any? We've got a few guys we could possibly bring up for a quick chat. Do you think we should or not?
Yeah, we may as well. I'll bring Zach down, our third place finisher tonight.
Okay.
Hi, Zach. Great drive tonight on that third position. Definitely what you wanted after the week that you had last round where you DNF'd.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was the aim tonight, just get a good finish on the board, get some points up. Unfortunate about Gordo and Harmy, and especially Brett. Hate to see that happen.
It's definitely a good thing for the championship. That will give you a nice haul of points there. So the track tonight was extremely racy. Were you expecting that many green flag laps? I believe Ryan Gorton probably gambled a little bit on fuel. Was it surprising to see as many green flag laps as we had?
Yeah, he made a mistake and put about half the amount of fuel he needed in. And going off last week, I was not expecting as many green laps as we got tonight, but it was good green flag run. It really showed who had speed tonight.
Yeah, great run from yourself tonight. Obviously coming up those two positions, starting from 5th and making it to 3rd. So congratulations on your haul of points tonight. Is there anybody you would like to thank?
I'd just like to thank everybody at Ruse, BK Designs for my livery, and Gav for putting on tonight, and you guys for your good commentary.
Thanks for your time, Zach. We will see you later in the night.
Too easy.
Okay, folks, so the new server is coming up. We're going to go for a very quick break here on RRTV. When we come back, we will have the race merch midgets on the track for you. Hi there, folks. Welcome back to RRTV's coverage of the Australian Speedway League's Speedway Championships, coming to you live from Knoxville. You'll notice I've got this little NVIDIA thing up in the top right corner, which for the life of me, I've no idea how to get rid of it, but I will shortly. We should also thank Sean O'Hara for calling that last race with me. He's gone to get the hot dogs and the beer, and I doubt we're going to see him for the rest of the night. But Clint Smith, you've jumped back into the comm box with me, mate, and we're ready to call the action on the midgets.
Yeah, definitely, Bernie. It's great to be back after having last week off. So unfortunately, I missed out on Dora. But it's good to be here at Knoxville, sprint car capital of the world. So everyone's heard of Knoxville before, so from Real World Racing, it's great to be here on the service, the iracing service, being able to watch some racing, and for these drivers out there, actually better drive it themselves.
Yeah, definitely. And if anyone in the chat channel can tell me how to get rid of that darn NVIDIA thing, let me know, because I've closed down the GeForce Experience and that thing just should not exist as far as I'm concerned. Let's have a look, though, at the point score coming into this series tonight. And at the moment, Daniel Vassell is leading the way on 404 points. But keep an eye on Bob King. He's 4 points behind in second on 400 points. Then in third, we've got Brett Junior Morris on 398 points. We saw Gavin in the last heat working very hard. He'll be back out there again in the midgets, and he's sitting in fourth on 386 points. Lewis Hewitt, he will also be backing up out of the street stocks, and he's rounds out our top five on 384 points.
So it looks like the points are very tight to the top there. So obviously last week would have been a pretty good race. I tuned in a little bit throughout the night, saw Shane Van Gisbergen entered and things like that. So and see Daniel Vassell leading the way in the championship. Something really must have gone his way last week to be in front of Bob King.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to clear this off, folks, if you're wondering what I am doing here. But having absolutely no luck at all with this at all tonight. Now I've got some other stupid thing that's coming up.
That's all right, Bernie. While you're doing that, I'll take the drivers through a bit of the format, what we're going to be doing for the race Mertz midgets. So during this, we're doing a practice at the moment, which will be for 15 minutes. And currently leading the way is Bob King from Lewis Hewitt and Joel Berkeley. They're your top three during practice at the moment. As we know, practice times doesn't really count. They're all just trying to sort out their setups, getting ready for qualifying. Qualifying will be for 5 minutes or 3 laps, whichever one you prefer. Then we've got 3 heats of 8 laps, where we're taking the top 5 in each, go straight to the feature, and the rest we're going to have to go to the last chance qualifier, which they'll be for 12 laps. And in that one, I'm pretty sure we're taking the top 5 or top 6 possibly to go through to the feature race, and the feature race will be 30 laps. Now, another thing to note out as well with that, during all the heat races, there is no safety car, so it's all green flag runs. During the feature race, we will be having safety cars, pace cars. So obviously, if there's an incident in the final, you obviously be able to gamble on fuel, whereas heat races you can't, Bernie.
Exactly right, and we saw that, didn't we, in the A main there, Ryan? I think it ran out of fuel, and in the chat they said, "We told you to throw 5 gallons in the darn thing." His response was, "I think I had the quali engine in and burnt too much fuel."
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'll quickly run through the weather we got on this place as well. So it's very similar to what we saw in the previous one. Overcast conditions, but 26 degrees air temperature with 26 track temperature. So very similar to what we saw in the street stock. So hopefully we'll put on just as good racing we saw that. I mean, we saw 3-4 wide most times in that one. So you want to be careful with these midgets though, with being open wheelers. You can ride over people's tyres and you can't bang doors.
Oh, exactly right, and we see that, don't we, as we go through the night, the difficulty of driving these cars step up, and I tell you what, these midgets, they look great on track, but I tell you what, they're twitchy as all heck, aren't they?
Yeah, no, exactly, and it's really great to. When the dirt first came out, I said to myself, well, why wouldn't they release a midget? I mean, you got the chili bowl, which is popular and things like that. They never brought out a midget. And then just as I stopped actually driving myself, they decided to bring the midget out. So I missed out on driving it. So, but from what I hear as well, chili bowl is actually in the works as well. So they're going to be bringing that to the service sometime this year. So I'm sure all these drivers would be eager to get their hands on that track.
Oh, for sure. And can you imagine the types of events we'll be able to run when that comes out?
Oh, yes, I can definitely imagine that. So, but I do know that a lot of drivers will have to really calm down their driving, because obviously we see quite often on short tracks there are a little bit more incidences. With Chili Bowl, it is like half the size of anything on the server right now. So, so they're definitely going to have to make sure they pull back some of their speed. One thing I'll bring up as well, something which we started to do a couple of weeks ago, is our driver spotlight. And our driver spotlight for this week is Brett Guratz. So basically, he's our spotlight driver for this week. He races with race number 142, that's 142, and he mainly races the midget and sprint car on the server. And he currently races for Gavin Sandler Racing, that's GSR. And his sponsors are racemerch.com.au. Now, some of his highlights from racing in the last 3 sim finishes, he got 14th place in the AFSR Fix Series Sprint Cars. He got first place in the AFSR Fix Series Late Model, and first in the Late Model in the official race. So he's very successful on the dirt, Bernie.
Certainly is, and we can see him on track at the moment in that number 42. And he's sitting at the moment 18th fastest in practice, so as he just gets into the side of one of the midgets there. But it'll be interesting to see what he brings to qualifying, which shouldn't be too far away. I think they have 10 minutes practice, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. We've got 3 minutes left on the clock for our practice and things like that. Quite often we see these drivers, when they enter the track a little bit later than the rest, they don't set as good times. The track's already had a lot of the moisture taken out of it. So even knowing Brett might be seeing down the order there in 18th and that, so he could just punch his weight in qualifying when their track is a little bit too evenly matched for everyone else.
Yeah, so looking at your practice standings anyway, practice it is. The number 3, we saw Lewis Hewitt in the last race. He's back out driving in the TTL entry there. He's the second fastest at the moment. His time 19.340. The number 51 though of Bob King is the fastest in practice, and he said it's a fastest time of a 19.333. So then we've got Joel Berkeley in the number 9. He's sitting in third. His best time a 19.404. So that's your top 3 in practice at the moment.
Yeah, you imagine those top 4 between King, Hewitt, Berkeley and Harris. You imagine those 4 are going to be strong all night during the heats, during qualifying and during the main later on tonight. So, but as we've seen in dirt racing, anything can happen. So you can see Bob King, he may crash out in the heats and he has to go through the last chance qualifier. So anything can happen on dirt.
Certainly can, and we have seen winners go the long way, haven't we, where they've done not so well in the heats, having to run then the B main and then get into the A main and make good from there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not only that, you saw in the previous street stock race, you saw Brett Wheeler starting off further back and he's made his way forward, but unfortunately he didn't have the car set up, so he went backwards. So it is possible to make your way forwards during these mains. Just got to make sure where you keep your nose clean, and if there's any cautions, you've got to make them count, because obviously you close up the gaps in the cars in front a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly right. And a few other drivers to keep an eye out on tonight. I'm trying to see if Daniel Vassell is out there. He's in the server. He's not on track at the moment, but his teammate Matt Reed is in the number 46.
Yeah, so currently Daniel Vassell's, he's sitting there in 16th, so, and his teammate Matt Reed's in 15th. So obviously Vassell's, he may have came onto the track a little bit later because his time's a 19.9. So at the moment he's 6/10 off the pace. So to me, that's just him coming on the track after the likes of Bob King and Hewitt. They probably went out first thing. So we'll have to see if he improves during qualifying.
Yeah, no doubt. The mechanics are back in the pit road there, making their final adjustments. We'll be going to qualifying very shortly. You can see Matt Reed doing a shakedown. Brett Guratz there in the 42, just coming back out on track after a few adjustments. And we've also got Brendan Hamilton in the 93. He's in the pits waiting to come out. Another one to keep an eye on is Terry Marwood, currently sitting 5th fastest with a 19.494.
Yeah, as we're about to start qualifying, yeah, as you were saying just then, it's amazing every week we're seeing these newer people slot themselves further and further up the field as their series goes on. So as you said, we're in round 4 at the moment, so it's taken some of these drivers some time to get used to who they're racing with, these new tracks, because the first 3 tracks we've been at is all new to the service pretty much. So it's taken them some time to get used to it and things like that. But it's really good to see people like Marwood making their way forward and showing people like Berkeley and King and things like that exactly what they're made of.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? And the first car to start their qualifying will be the number 94. That is Scott Butler, and he's in that beautiful pinky, purpley, blacky, greeny thing. And as he comes through to start his flying lap now.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Ryan Harris as well. He's just coming around the final corner as well. He's just about to start his first lap as well. So a lot of these drivers you'll find they will purposely not set a fast time on their first lap. They're just trying to get as much momentum as they are. And you'll find that their second lap will probably be their faster lap.
Yeah, and at the moment, Gavin Sadler, he set the fastest time, 19.733. Tim Harris sitting in third now. Scott Butler, he moves up to second. Lewis Hewitt fourth. Fifth is Matt Reid in that number 46.
Yes, I say that. So Ryan's finished his first lap. He's slotted himself into third. Hewitt's now in second place. So Sadler's still leading the way after his 2 laps. So he's still with a 19.7. And Bob King just set his first lap just then as well with a 19.7. Just checking for our spotlight driver. He is yet to set a lap by the looks of it, so he's still seeing the pits, waiting for the best opportunity. Now, there it is. He's slotted himself into 13th place with a 20.4, Bernie.
Fantastic. And we're just having a look at Terry Marwood on screen. He is sitting in 12th position, 0.5 of a second down, but Bob King's now, he's jumped up to second, 0.7 of a second behind our pole sitter at the moment of Gavin Sadler.
Exactly. Now, looking further back to the field, a lot of these drivers have done their 3 laps already. So Sadler's looking pretty good. They're at the top of that 19.7, and currently you have a provisional pole position with 2.5 minutes left to go. There is still 3-4 people left to set a time, and Danny Vassell is one of them, our current points later in the series.
Yeah, he's coming through now to complete his first lap. He sets a time, 19.961, takes him up to 8th position on his first lap. Can he improve as he lifts a wheel there on the inside of the corner, and he continues trying to carry that momentum?
Yeah, he's definitely going to find something special to try and pip Sadler, but if anyone can do it, it's definitely Danny Vassell. And just saying that, Joel Berkeley goes quick time, the 19.6, so he got that one out of nowhere. So there's still 1.5 minutes left to go on the board. So Sandler, he's still got 1 lap left in his hand if he wants to go out and do 1 more lap. But yeah, Berkeley now sits in that pole position.
Yeah, he's looking pretty racy, isn't he? He looks very racy in that street stocks tonight, and he's carrying that form straight into the race merch midgets here as he's coming through his time. And 19.687 was his best time. Don't think he improves. He's still 4 hundredths of a second in front of Gavin Sadler.
Yeah, there was very, very consistent times there. He was like pretty much saying identical lap times between the 2 laps he did. So, and yeah, out on track, Matty Reid's out on track now. So he's still got 1 more lap. He crosses the line and he doesn't improve. So I actually think he's just out there at the moment doing some laps worth of practice, because he's showing he's done 4 laps now. So I think he's just out there doing some laps of practice.
Yeah, he seems to be doing that tonight, isn't he? Taking every opportunity to shake down that car setup. No doubt maybe he's not happy with it and he's just trying to get the most out of it, or he's trying to get his head into the game. Who knows?
Well, exactly. I mean, he might have just chucked a bit of extra fuel into it and to see what it's going to be like as a race car, because obviously this track would have adapted during that qualifying session, so it would have changed. So all these drivers are going to go out for their first heats, and it's going to be a completely different track to what they were practicing on. And obviously with the qualifying setup, it's going to be completely different to your race setup.
It certainly will, and the guys are just going through now. Pretty much all qualifying has finished at the moment, folks. So looking at your top 13, Joel Berkeley will start. Well, he set the fastest time. Gavin Sadler second, third Bob King, fourth Lewis Hewitt, Tim Harris fifth fastest, Ryan E.B. Harris sixth, seventh Brett Junior Morris, eighth Scott Butler, ninth Danny Vassell, 10th, Harry Edwards. 11th fastest, Mark Reardon, then James Robbie and Peter Honeybell rounds out our 13. Looks like we're going into Heat 1 here.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a great result there for Joel Berkeley, picking up quick time in your race merch midgets, round 4 here at Knoxville. So your Heat 1 grid will be your pole man. Joel Berkeley starting off in that first place. Lewis Hewitt will be right alongside of him in second. Brett Junior Morris in that third, and right alongside him in that fourth place is Harry Edwards. On your third row will be Peter Honeybell in fifth, with Brett Geratz in sixth, Benjamin Ellis in seventh, and rounding out your field in eighth will be Brett Wheeler.
And we're just waiting for Brett to get in the car. I think he's not going to make the start as we're about to get underway here. Brett Wheeler does not make the start.
Yeah, it could be that his team was doing a few last tweaks on the car, and perhaps they just couldn't get there quick enough. And unfortunately, he's going to drop this heat, which means he's going to have to go through that last chance qualifier directly after these heat races.
So his night continues, doesn't it? But we can see there the number 9, Joel Berkeley there, looking very excited to be back in the midget as he waits for the pace car to catch up. He's got his teammate on the outside of him, Lewis Hewitt. They're driving in different colours, but they are in the same team, so they will start out of the front row. Then Brett Junior Morris, as we said, on the inside in the second row, and Harry Edwards on the outside. We saw Harry in that Red Bull livery in the number 66 in the street stocks. What's he going to do here? And of course, keep an eye on our spotlight driver tonight. That is Brett Geratz starting out of 6th in the number 42.
Yeah, I tell you what, I like the look at that Morris car there in that third place. It's that purple and the blue. It's very bright and stands out, so it's a really nice looking ride. So very well done to him on presenting that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the guys are coming out with some great paint jobs, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's really good with the presentation. As we are about to see the pace car pulls in the pits, we are under starter's orders, waiting for the green flag. And green is out, and they're off for Heat 1. Getting a good jump there is Joel Berkeley. And on the inside of Hewitt there is the man we were talking about, Morris, just then in that bright blue and purple paint job. They're carrying the momentum in the outside. Hewitt gets him back, and there's contact between Morris. And that was Edwards as well, I think it was. No, Hannonbell. So very unfortunate for that contact there. But Berkeley and Hewitt checking out here, Bernie.
Certainly are. Edwards has dropped all the way down the field now. At the moment, I'm just trying to get it. He was in 3rd. He's back to about 6th. Brett Geratz at the moment bringing up the rear of the field. He is battling with Benjamin Ellis for those last positions. But meanwhile, the teammates Berkeley and Hewitt have got a big gap now over Edwards in 3rd position.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty sure these TTL drivers are just going to check out from here on. And it's just be a battle towards the back. You see Morris having a really good battle now up against Hannonbell it is. So these two are already in a transfer position, but obviously they're trying to improve their position even further to try and get a better position in a feature race later on. But they're going to be very careful, as directly behind them is your drivers of Ellis and Geratz, not too far behind them.
Yeah, and I messed up with these two drivers. I called the wrong one, but now Brett Junior Morris, he's got that momentum. He's in the back of Harry Edwards. They've gone around, and this is going to cost them big time with only 3 laps remaining.
Yeah, definitely. So now you see Morris now dropped out of that transfer position, trying to get it back there off Ellis. Almost made contact again as he tries to go up the inside. Ellis carrying the momentum around the outside. Just waiting to see if Morris does the slide drop, and he doesn't drift up in front of him, but he gets that position off of him.
Yeah, he's come into contact with another driver. I think that was Benjamin Ellis. Tell you what, Brett Junior Morris, the red mist has descended on him in this race. We've got one more lap to go, and as we can see, Honeybell and Morris are battling it out, but at the moment up front it's all Berkeley and Lewis Hewitt.
Yeah, definitely. Checker flag is out. So your winner for Heat 1 will be Joel Berkeley. Looking further back through the field, it's going to be tight, close across the line. And it looks like Edwards, I'm pretty sure, just squeezed in for that final transfer. No, he didn't. Gerrit, our spotlight driver, managed to secure that final transfer position by the looks of it.
Yeah, so he goes through, but Brett Junior Morris there nearly threw all of it away. He had it coming together in the last corner there, which banked them all up there, and he nearly missed out.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll run through your results for that race. So coming in first place was Joel Berkeley, your quick time man for the night. Lewis Hewitt, his teammate, coming in that second place. Peter Hunnenbell in that third. Fourth was Brett Morris, who we were just talking about there. Harry Edwards ended up getting that fifth place, so timing was incorrect on my screen. So great job there for Edwards picking up that final transfer spot. It means our spotlight driver Brett Gerrit is going to have to go through the last chance qualifier in sixth. Benjamin Aless in seventh, and in eighth, Brett Wheeler rounded out your field with a D and did not start.
And we're waiting for the cars to come out onto the track here, folks. Then we will take you through that grid as we can see them coming out now. So starting out of first position on row one inside is the number 71 of Gavin Sadler. Then starting out of second on the outside will be the number 48. That is Tim Harris. In the second row, the number 94 will be Scott Butler. Starting on the inside, on the outside of him will be the 00 of Mark Riordan. Looking further back, we have the number 10 of Terry Marwood starting in the third row, and he's got Lewis Clark in the number 7, and then rounding out our field is Stephen Watts.
I tell you what, this is going to be a good race between Sadler and Harris here on the front row. So Sadler's showing some really quick pace here this week. As you said in the street stock race, yeah, he just seems to be really quick, and no matter what he's in on dirt, he's always in the top 10 battling for those positions. So it's going to be a really good race here between those two, I reckon, Bernie.
Yeah, it certainly is, and just waiting for the heats to start. After this heat, folks, we are going to have Bailey Hall join us in the comm box, and then I'm going to hand over the full commentary to Clint and Bailey to call the rest of the midgets. But until then, we still have this one race to go, and we're just waiting now for the pace car to come in. Here we go. Gavin Sadler goes on green, so we've got the 71 on the inside of the 48. 48 goes high, and now Scott Butler's coming through, and a nice clean start.
Yeah, definitely. Around the outside goes Harris. He carries that momentum and gets him past Sandler there. So Sadler drops himself back into second, but he's holding that inside line now, so they've got too wide coming out of it, but Harris will continue that momentum. Seen there in that third place, up the inside now, Sandler as well is Mark Royden. So I come very close out to Sandler, almost touching wheels. Those two are racing really hard, but looks like Royden would do a slide job of Sandler's going to come straight back at him on the inside, so that does the over and under technique on him and gets it back.
Yeah, and further up the back there, we saw Marwood and Watts come together. They still are continuing, but they've lost a bit of ground. So at the moment, we have the 48 Harris leading the 71 of Sadler. Sadler's trying to work that inside line now. He's sliding back up the track and not getting that momentum. And if anything, Mark Riordan has started to close that gap.
Yeah, that last lap by on the road, just saying that Harris just gets a little bit loose coming through 1-2, and Sadler just getting in the back of him, so now on the outside. But as I was going to say, that last lap by Lewis Clark actually going to the wall, ended up on his roof, and actually managed to land back on his tyres, and he's continuing the race. So it's good to see he's able to continue. But back up front, Sadler hit the front for momentarily, but loses it almost in the first corner and lost all momentum. So Harris now back up front. So these drivers are definitely struggling with this track, Bernie.
Yeah, they certainly are, and we were riding with Riordan there when he got in the side of Sadler in the 71. You could hear him lifting, but here comes Sadler now on the inside of Harris. It gets a bit of a wobble, but he corrects it as they come through lap 6 of 8. Keep an eye on though Riordan. I don't think he's finished just yet. Yeah,
no, definitely. I mean, you see there's going to be a battle between Butler and it looks like Riordan as well. So they're battling it out for the third place, the final place on the podium in this heat race. So Sandler's still looking in the back of Harris as well. So we got two battles here, and your final transfer by Marwood. So he's pretty much cruising around by himself there towards the back in 5th place. But up front, Sandler's still racing hard against Harris.
Coming down to the last lap here, it's all Harris at the moment. He goes Sadler back on the inside. We saw that does not work normally because they lose the momentum on exit. Well, let's see if it holds true here, but it doesn't, as Riordan's trying to close them, but he's not going to get them. It's going to be all Harris here.
Definitely. Checker flag is coming out. Your heat race 2 winner goes to Tim Harris for TTL Esports. Getting your second place is Gavin Sandler, your second fastest driver of the night. In third place, Mark Riordan. In fourth place was Scott Butler. Terry Marwood comes across the line, and your final transfer spot was Stephen Watts in that 6th place. And Lewis Clark, after getting that first turn wall and over his roof, managed to come home in that 7th place position. So a good result there for Harris, picking it up on Heat 2.
Yeah, so I'd like to welcome into the Combox now Bailey Hall. I'm going to step out of the commentary and I'm going to hand it over now to Clint Smith and Bailey to call the rest of the action here.
Yeah, g'day guys. It's going to be a good rest of the night for sure. G'day Clint and g'day to everyone else out on their YouTube. People don't know me, I'm Bailey Hall. I've commentated a lot around here, but we're on the heat number 3, Clint, if you want to call this one out.
Yes, most definitely. So your heat race 3 starters will be Bob King starting off in that first place position. Right alongside of him will be Ryan Harris. We just saw his relative finish first place in that previous race, so he's hoping to back it up again in this one. Danny Vassell will be starting off in your 3rd place, and right alongside him in that second row will be James Robbie. Matt Reed starting off in that 5th place with Sean Dennis in 6th, and running at your 7-car field would be Brendan Hamilton in 7th place.
Very strong field here, Bob King, very known for his speed around here. The pace car lights are out, Clint, we're getting ready to rock and rumble around here. Knoxville, great track, it should be a lot of fun. Names also Daniel Vassell, Matty Reed, Sean Dennis have all known for speed around here, just haven't been able to get themselves up to the front.
Yeah, definitely. Vassell would have been a bit disappointed after leading the points coming into this one and having to start off in that 3rd place. It's not too shabby, but I'm sure he would have preferred to be on that 1st or 2nd on the front row. So, but I reckon the person in this race going to be watched is definitely, again, those front 2 drivers. They're going to be definitely racing really hard.
Have to keep our eyes on the 51 of Bob King and the number 12 of Ryan Harris as we come around to get ready for the green light. They'll grid up. Pace car comes in. Heat number 3 of the Race Merch Midgets as Bob King will get ready to send them off. They come out of turn number 4 here. Green flag drops, they're away. The number 12 of Ryan Harris gets a nice run on the outside. Bob King, no, he'll get the slide job done there, but the crisscross F3 wide coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, you see Vassell there just got up onto that inside corner burn and just pretty much got airborne, lost all momentum, so that's dropped him way back through the field. But battling up front hard is King up against Harris now, so King leads away and Harris gets in the back of him and rolls it going to turn 1. There will be no yellow, so his race is over. So you see, unfortunate there, King just got slightly into the back of him. But now Bob King leaned away from James Robbie and Sean Dennis now.
Yeah, James Robbie's done well. He's kept on the back with Bob King. Now he's just got to hold on now. Wait for the right path. We're on lap number 2 of 8, now 3. Sean Dennis, Daniel Vassell, Matty Reed, and then Brendan Hamilton round out your top 6 at the moment. Ryan Harris is DNF'd at the moment. Bob King still leads the race nice and high. Gets a bit too high on the track. He might not get the run off the corner. He will, but he'll have a good crack. But not too much further down the pack. We've got another battle. Your Daniel Vassell and James Robbie is it looks to be Daniel Vassell did the slide job on the 22 car of Sean Dennis, sorry. Big pass there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's Vassell's definitely making his way back up after making that small mistake at the start of the race, making way back to 3rd. Matty Reid seems to be struggling there in that final transfer spot in 5th place. He's got to be careful that the driver directly behind him, which is Brendan Hamilton. He's getting ever closer with 5 laps left to go. But your fastest man on track is Bob King, leading the way with a 19.998 at the moment.
Yeah, he's out there. He's got about 6 car lengths over the 2nd place of James Robbie. As Bob King's now just settling and hitting his marks at the moment around top of the track, trying to get as much run off the corner, trying to make a bigger gap as he can. It's about 6/10 of a second at the moment. Oh, James Robbie got another second down the track is Daniel Vassell. So there's still a bit of a gap between the track, between second and third, but anything could happen at the moment if Bob King messes up. But we're on lap number 7 at the moment here around Knoxville International Speedway as Bob King is currently leading heat number 3.
Yeah, you see a lot of these drivers now, they're pretty much sticking to the high line now. No one's going towards the inside, so they're all just trying to carry as much momentum. It's pretty much progression racing at the moment for the final lap, I think, here. So I'm pretty sure positions will be sewn up unless there is a mistake.
Heat number 3, presented by Race Birch Midgets here at the Australian Speedway League. Bob King is going to bring it home at the moment in first position. As we wait for the checkered flag to drop, and there it goes, the checkered flag drops. Race number 3, heat number 3 is won by Bob King.
Yeah, great race there by King, picking up that heat 3 there. Just waiting, my results seem to have gone haywire and they're not showing at the moment, so I can't really bring it up, but I'm pretty sure it was Bob King picking up the win there, where directly behind him was James Robbie. There we go, so my results have now finally come up. So yes, Bob King gets your win with James Robbie in that second place. Third place was Danny Vassell. Sean Dennis picked up 4th, and your final transfer spot was Matt Reed, who managed to hang on from Brendan Hamilton in that 6th place. And Ryan Harris just saw him up on his roof, unfortunately, battling for the lead, finishes in 7th place with the DNF.
As we go to the last race, consolidation, 12 laps here. We've got the top 5 will make it to the feature, the big dance. As starting out of P number 1 is Brett Gerardus. Out of 2 on his outside will be Stephen Watts. On 3 on the second row will be Brendan Hamilton. 4th will be Benjamin Ellis. 5th it will be Lewis Clark. He will take the final transfer spot coming into this last chance dance. 6th will be Ryan Harris, and Brett Wheeler, who hasn't made an appearance and is currently outside with mechanical issues, as we'll get ready to send him green.
Yeah, definitely our spotlight driver for the night, Brett Gerard, starting off in that first place. Keep an eye on him, but definitely keep an eye on Ryan Harris starting off the back there. So obviously one driver will miss out, so one driver won't make the final, unfortunately. So, but definitely keep an eye on Harris. He'll make his way through the field, I think.
6 cars to take the grid. Ryan Harris has to make it work as he's all starting the outside of Lewis Clark. Brett Gerardus, your spotlight driver, has to make it work now. It's 5th. Stephen Watts, pace cars in. We get ready to rock and rumble. The 42 Toyota will take us green along the front straight of Knoxville Raceway.
Yeah, definitely. We're 3 wide going to the first corner now. Still leading the way is Brett Garrett. So you see 2 cars come together. One's up and over, so his race is over. That was Stephen Watts, unfortunately. So he was in a transfer spot. But no yellow, we will continue. So Garrett leads the way from Ellis. And then sitting there in your 4th place is Brendan. So 3rd place is Brendan Hamilton up the inside now, battling for that lead there, Bailey.
Yeah, Brendan Hamilton had a nice corner there. Won't get the momentum off it easy. We talk about time and time again. Momentum. Now still the 42 car will still lead the pack out in front. He's trying to hold his position here. Not too much further down the pack. So number 12, Ryan Harris, he's trying to battle into that 3rd position. All cars now on track in the transfer spot. They've just got to make it through, but they're going to be looking to get up the A main grid as quick as possible. Still out in front, the 42 getting challenged by Brendan Ellis.
Yeah, keep an eye on Harris now. He's starting to make his move now. It's the fastest lap in the race with a 20.4. So currently he's 2/10 faster than the drivers directly in front. As they battle as well, that's going to cost some time. And so in saying that, see Harris carries a lot of momentum, pulls up to the back of Ellis. He's riding really up here, really high compared to Ellis now, trying to carry as much momentum. But Ellis slides up in front of him and destroys that momentum.
Yeah, Ellis slammed the door on him there. It looked like he was going to turn it round there on the front straight. He got it back together and he was able to shut down Ellis though. As those 3 are up the front. Oh, a bit of contact between Ellis and Brett. Is 2 wide, almost 3 wide coming off the corner. Stephen Watts had a bit of a problem. He's been black flagged from the race at the moment, but they get together. Still 3 wide round the corner. Lap number 6. We're going to go into lap number 7. 5 to go.
See, Harris is trying to make that inside line work, but Ellis is just carrying a lot of momentum around the outside. I just don't think there's enough moisture on the inside. He's going to have to slide up in front of him, and he thinks about it, but unfortunately he lost momentum because he just caught up to the back of our race leader, Gerrits there. So unfortunately he wasn't able to complete that slide job in Ellis there, but these drivers go 3 wide almost once again. So these drivers, they're in a transfer position. As you said before, they're trying to get up as far as they can to give them a better starting position than A-main.
Yeah, Alice on the outside of Brett. He's going to try and make it work. He'll have it work now. Brett's going to be under fire from Ryan Harris. He's on the outside. This could work for him. Big slide job. They get together. Alice and Brett. They have a bit of a problem now. Upside down goes Harris.
Yeah, we see with these short wheelbase cars, unfortunately, if you slam the brake on too much and turn too sharply, they'll just tip over. So his race is over. He'll still be in for a transfer spot, but he's pretty much pulled out of the race. So hopefully we'll see him in the A-main. But with 3 laps left to go on the board, Ellis leads the way from Gerrits now. So Gerrits probably had that car set up to come on really early in that race, but he's just starting to die off now.
Not long left in the race now, not too far back. Also, Brendan Hamilton, he's going to lock himself in at the moment into the one of the final transfer spots. Lewis Clark trying to battle the beast of the machine. He's still struggling, but he's in there. He's currently in 4th position. So far, your DNS of the race, Ryan Harris, Stephen Watson, your non-starter, with Brett Wheeler. Now back up to the front, Benjamin Ellis. He's still got about 10 car lengths over Brett Garitas. They're just gonna lock and load themselves into the position now. We're gonna come down to 1 to go.
Yeah, so these drivers are all making the transfer. So what they do is make sure they don't crash and cause themselves to have a black flag, because I'm pretty sure if they get black flag, they won't better take the grid in the A-main. So just got to keep it nice and clean as they come around the final corner. Checker flag will be out. Your winner of the last chance qualifier will be Benjamin Ellis, with Brett Gerrits coming across the line in that 2nd place. 3rd place goes to Brendan Hamilton, with Lewis Clark rounding out your field in 4th place. And unfortunately, your DNFs will be Ryan Harris and Stephen Watts.
We'll get into the race we've been waiting for all night for the midgets. The race merge midgets. Starting out of P number 1 will be Joel Berkeley. On his outside will be Tim Harris, with Bob King opening up the 2nd line of cars with Lewis Hewitt. Gavin Sadler and James Robbie will make up your third line on the grid. 7th position will be Peter Honeybell, and 8th will be Mark Ray Ordine. 9th will be Daniel Vassell, and rounding your top 10, Clint, will be Brett Morris.
Yeah, definitely. Scott Butler will be your 11th place starter, with Sean Dennis right alongside of him. Harry Edwards will be in that 13th, and in that 14th will be Terry Mild. We'll keep an eye on Terry. Matt Reed will be in that 15th place, and in 16th is Benjamin Ellis. Brett Gerrits will be in 17th place, with Brendan Hamilton in 18th. 19th starter is Brendan Hamilton, is Lewis Clark, and rounding out your field is Ryan Harris if he chooses to take the grid. And he has reconnected to the server, so hopefully he's joined the race in time. But tell you what, Bailey, three drivers in the top 4 is TTL Esports. So they locked out the front row with Lewis Hewitt. They're sitting in that 4th place. So Bob Kings definitely goes where it cut out for him, having Sandler directly behind him as well.
Yeah, TTL will be very proud of himself being able to get 3 in the top 4. And Bob King now has to show him what for. Try to make Gavin Sadler Racing... Bob King for CNG Sim Racing, wrong team. Make them proud and get out in front.
Yeah, that's one person who I did actually notice he wasn't here tonight. I should have noticed straight away, but I didn't. Jordan Charge isn't here tonight, which is usually Bob King's pretty much a wingman. So those two are usually working off each other. So I was thinking to myself, there's one less SSR driver, and that's who it is. Jordan Charge isn't here in the field tonight.
Pace car will come around for the final time out on the Knoxville International Raceway for the race merch midgets. You're here for the feature race here. 30 laps to get it done. TTL locks out the front row. Pace cars off. Clint, take us underway.
And we are green for the race merch midgets. Round 4. Good start there for both TTL drivers on the front row. Directly behind Bob King, he's getting swamped at the moment. Lewis Hewitt around the outside, and on the inside of him is Mark Royden. So he loses 2 positions there.
Yeah, cars get up onto the top side as quick as possible. Yellows are out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Here, the feature race. We pull it out on lap number 2.
Yeah, just saying that it is, James Robbie, just watching it now, he just pretty much drifted up into the wall by the looks of it actually and just rolled it by himself, and then he came back onto the track and just got cleaned up by 3 or 4 cars pretty much. So unfortunately it just looked like the wall just sucked in Robbie there and just sucked him into the wall, as we usually see in dirt racing. You get up really nice and close to it and pretty much rode the wall, came back on, and as I said, got cleaned up afterwards.
Yeah, Joel Berkeley in the number 9 car in the TTL had a great start there. He got away pretty quickly. He was not waiting to see what would happen behind him, but Tim Harris also, he had a brilliant run off the corner. He was able to stick up on the top along with Lewis Hewitt. The top 3 are still TTL, and they've kind of locked out Bob King here. They've decided they're going to take the top 3 spots and try and lock in the podium for themselves. And we'll see what happens here. Is we're getting ready to send them back green. The pace car lights are still on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if TTL adopts like a Speedway Grand Prix style tactic where they could just run side by side with each other around the corners and try and block the track so King can't get past. Because obviously there's 3 drivers there. They could try and use that tactic, but no doubt these drivers are going to want to race for the win themselves. They want to work together, but then they don't want to work together at the same time.
Have a look in the chat room as we get ready to send them green. Ackers reckons Bob King will be able to do it and get through them all to make the win. As Adam Reynolds is in there doing our job for us. We still want to know, who do you think will win this race? We've still got 25 laps to go. As pace car lights are off, Clint, we're going to get ready to send them green. Take it away.
Definitely good jump there for Berkeley. Gets a really good jump from his teammates there, Harris and Hewitt. Bob King follows him through, and just riding up against the wall there, Tim Harris. He manages to hang on to it, and we got yellow again, Bailey. But very lucky there for Harris not going over.
Yeah, just trying to find out here. It looks like Sean Dennis had a bit of a problem. Benjamin Alice also was involved there. As a couple cars, not quite sure 100% what happened there, but it might have had a bit of a spin.
Yeah, I'm just looking back on the Tim Harris almost rolling over. Pretty much his night was almost over. Just went in way too fast into the first corner, rode over the cushion and went straight into the wall, and two-wheeled it pretty much, but then managed to drop it back down and keep going. So yeah, he's going to be thanking someone up high, I think, for that one, because his night would have been over if that went over.
Matt Reed has been able to get himself down pit lane at the moment. The car will get put on the trailer for the rest of the night. There's still 22 laps to run, Clint. Anyone's game at the moment. TTL lock out the podium still. Bob King looking in to see what he can do. Mark Ryordin, he's in 5th. He's trying to get his way up. He's had a good run for the night so far. Peter Honeybell, he's also had a good one.
Yeah, looking back further through the field for our spotlight driver, Brett Garrett. He's sitting there in the 14th place finish, so he's made his way forward 3 positions since the start of this race. But your biggest mover so far, moving up 8 positions, is Lewis Clark, just knocking on the door of that top 10 in 11th place.
8th car lights are out. We'll get ready to do it again. This will be our 3rd start for this race. As so far, retirees are Marwood, Allison, Reed. Those guys have packed up their cars onto the trailers, and hopefully we can see them out a bit later in the night. But Clint, as we get ready to take them green again, take it away.
Definitely. So you see the lights are out, safety car is pulling in, and Joel Berkeley getting a really early jump there once again on his teammates Hewitt and Harris. Bob King follows them through as well. It's going to be interesting to see if these drivers can all stay locked to tail. King carries the momentum on the inside and gets past Harris, but just all of a sudden just hits that slick spot and just wheel spins. But Harris got loose there coming down the straight. So Bob King now is sitting in that third place, but Berkeley leading the way.
Yeah, 3 wide, a bit further back in the pack. Ryan Harris was just looking in on that one. As if you have a look back further, Daniel Vassell, he's involved in that one, along with Brent Morris and Gavin Sadler. Those two are going 2 wide, even 3 wide into the corner here at Knoxville Raceway.
Yeah, it's just looking at Tim Harris as well. His car is looking very loose. Every time he goes into a corner, he's almost losing it. So he lost a position there to Mark Royden. So now he's in 5th place, and the yellow is out on track.
We go yellow again for the 3rd time here tonight in the A main race. Lewis Clark is, sorry, my mistake. Peter Hunnebel, number 39, had a bit of a problem there. We'll get a replay, hopefully, of that one. We'll see what we can do for you.
Yeah, just by the look of it, I'm just looking at it now. You got a little bit loose coming through one, and then pretty much just got collected there by another driver, Harry Edwards, coming through, and that's pretty much just sent him straight into the wall. So end up on his roof, and his race is over. The same thing with Edwards. So both those drivers pretty much got damaged cars, and they're out. So it's a bit of a rookie mistake, I think, just losing the car a bit on the slick track, I think, with almost 17 laps left to go.
Yeah, as we spoke about Tim Harris, he's getting a bit loose. He might have a little bit of damage. There was a fair bit of rubbing earlier on in the race between him and Bob King, so he might have a bit of steering damage and might be trying to hang on to that fingers for as long as possible, but see what he can do for the rest of the race. Now Bob King looks in on the podium. He's got it. He's in 3rd position at the moment. 2nd, Lewis Hewitt, and 1st, Joel Berkeley. Pace car lights are still on as we've got 1 to green here. 5th position, Tim Harris. Brett Morris is in 6th. Gavin Sadler, 7th. Daniel Vassell, 8th. Ryan Harris, 9th. And rounding at your top 10 is Brett Gradis coming from the B main.
Yeah, definitely. So Ryan Harris, he started off dead last, and he's moved up 11 positions now to find himself inside that top 10. So it'll be interesting to see how much more further forward he can make it. And again, our spotlight driver, Brett Garrett, seeing that in that 10th place. So he's made himself forward 7 positions since the start of this race.
Pace car lights are out. We'll get ready to do it for the 4th time tonight here at Knoxville Raceway for your A main race. Clint, take us away once again for the 4th time.
Definitely Berkeley, Hewitt, Bob King. That's your top 3. Safety cars in, and they're away. Berkeley gets an early jump there. Hewitt and King go with him once again, so they're not fooled by his starts now. They're all pretty much line and stirred, but further back, further field, Harris is having to battle with Mark Royden and Morris there, and gets past Royden, so he finds himself up in the 4th place now. Big slide job there from Morris, and he drifts up in front. Can he hold the position? And he does. So that was an awesome pass there from Morris. Now he finds himself in 4th place.
Yeah, great slide job from Morris, but he'll still get battled in by Mark Royden. He'll get back by though Harris. Now Tim Harris is trying to reclaim that 5th position. He'll head on the outside still. Gavin Sadlers, he's on the inside, getting past. He's not having the night of he wants at the moment. He's struggling to get the car back up top. We got big crash. Yellow.
That was Timmy Harris there, as we've seen all night long. He's just pretty much looped it coming into the first corner. Just the rear of his car is just completely loose, and he pretty much spins it around 180, pops a massive wheelie, and our man Danny Vassell pretty much just drove straight into him, and both those drivers end up getting heavy damage, I think, from that incident.
Yeah, very unfortunate. They just looked like they got a bit loose, struggled, and then got together. And when their nights here, we're just over halfway through the race. We were able to get a few green laps in there. There's the sorries are out in the chats. Tim Harris will DNF himself for the night. We've still got a fair few cars out there. About 13 cars still on track. Joel Berkeley has led all 18 laps so far.
So your current top 10 is Berkeley, Hewitt, King, Morris, Royden, Vassal, Harris, Sandler, Robbie, and Garatz. That's your top 10 with almost 10 laps left to go on the board when we go green again.
We don't worry, this is not our final race for the night. We'll still be back for sprint cars, WP conquering sprint cars after this. So stick by with us as we get this race close to being underway. The pace car lights will turn themselves off in a moment. We will go 1 to green. And, well, I'm still going to put my money on Joel Berkeley because he's flying at the moment. He's getting a great start out front, Clint. But Lewis Hewitt, he's sticking in there and he's trying his best.
Yeah, I think Lewis Hewitt, he's going to be the man to watch because as these green laps happen, Hewitt's car's getting stronger and stronger. So I think Berkeley's car is set to happen on straight away, whereas Lewis, it just takes a little bit longer for his car to come on. So keep an eye on that green and white car sitting in their second place.
Well, we'll send them round. Who will go for the 5th start of the night? Clint, get us underway.
No problem. TTL sitting there in first and second. It's a green and they are off. Big start there for Berkeley. He's pulled 6 car lengths almost on the field already. That Lewis Hewitt still battling away with Bob King there sitting in third place. Morris gets off to a good start as well. There's a battle pack going back a little bit further with a battle going on between Ryan Harris and Danny Vassal battling it out there for 6th place.
Yeah, great slide job there by Mark there, but up on the inside, not too far down the track, is another TTL car. It's Ryan Harris. He's trying to get a position or two on the inside, just not getting to work for him at the moment. The 00 car of Michael Orodine, he's up on the outside. He's making it work now. Going back up further up the track, the 51 car of Bob King, he's under threat. Brent Morris up the inside. He's going to try and get him and Lewis at the same time. Unable to do it. Now, so Bob King loses position. We'll go back to the inside, nearly get together. Just keep it apart from each other now. Lewis Hewitt needs to watch out because on his way down is Brent Morris.
Yeah, Morris is showing us a really quick pace here, but all this battling between King is just slowing him down. So I think fastest person on track is Morris with a 20.1, so he is quicker. So keep an eye on that fluorescent blue and purple car in your third place now. And as King just gets loose coming out of 3 and 4, that's going to leave him vulnerable for Vassal now. Going into 1 and he's in the wall now, so that car's massively loose.
Yeah, he's hit that wall 2 times in a single lap, so that car will have surely a few problems on there. Up the inside, Vassal goes to the slide job, can't get it done. Now, Bob King will retain 4th position at the moment, jumping back up forward a bit more. Brent Morris now still trying to get Lewis Hewitt. Not long to go now, 5 laps on the board. We'll go to 4 shortly. As we go on the back straight now. As Joel Berkeley still leads the battle here. He's up on the inside trying to make it work. There's Lewis Hewitt on the outside. He's trying to get as much time gained back as possible for the run.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just lost Ryan Harris there as well. He was running in 7th place, and he unfortunately just dropped out there. So his night goes begging. With 3 laps left to go on the board, your top 3, Berkeley, Hewitt, and Morris, are all battling it out still. It's still anyone's race. Hewitt tries to carry as much momentum as he can going through the first corner. Gets a good run coming out of 2. Does he get a run on Berkeley? No, Berkeley managed to get some traction coming off of 2. But these two are definitely trying to hold out Morris, which is directly behind with 2 laps left to go on the board.
Got to be careful here as we go 2 laps, as you say. Joel Berkeley gets it a bit up on the track on the inside there. Now he'll try and he gets 2 wheels down the front straight as they almost go together. That could have been costly for the TTL drivers, the number 9 and 3. Ryan Harris trying to hold it in there. Bob King not too far down. As we'll bring it to 1 to go. The final lap here on the A main for the race merchant midgets. Lewis Hewitt on the outside will get 1st position. Joel Berkeley's been led 29 laps of the race. Now on the threat by Brent Morris on the outside. Lewis Hewitt will run this one. This could be costly for Joel Berkeley, but he'll pass it just in time. Lewis Hewitt will take your A main for tonight's race.
Yes, awesome race there from Hewitt. As I said, the longer these runs went on, the better his car got. It just got a really good slingshot around the outside there. So congratulations to Lewis Hewitt picking up a round 4 of the Race Merts Midgets ASL Speedway Championship Series. See, in your second place goes to Joel Berkeley, his fellow TTL Esports teammate. And locking out your podium for tonight is Brett Morris. Very well done to Brett in that fluorescent car. Bob King there, unfortunately, it was a night of what could have been with a bit of a loose car there. So they managed to hold out Danny Vassell, who finished in your 5th place. In that 6th place goes to Mark Royoid, and in 7th goes to James Robbie. 8th place, Scott Butler and Gavin Sandler. Oh, it's a bit weird seeing him down that 9th place there, but still a top 10 finish there for him. And running out your top 10 is Brendan Hamilton. Do you want to take the rest there, Bailey?
11th place finishing was Sean Dennis, with Brett Gradis coming home in 12th. Ryan Harris, not the night he was looking for, come home, in 13th position. Tim Harris in 14th position. As we're starting to get into our DNFs. 15th position was Harry Edwards. Now, 16th position, was Peter Hannibal. 17th was Lewis Clark, and your 18th was Terry Marwood. Benjamin Ellis will come home in 19th, and 20th was Matty Reid. Well, Clint, what a race that one was, and an awesome night of racing for the midgets.
Yeah, exactly. We saw a bit more yellow flag action in that one compared to the straight stocks, but you get that when you got the open wheelers. You don't really have doors to bang against each other and things like that. So, but unfortunately, 8 DNFs there, but great racing nevertheless. We'll drag our first interviews in. We should have our race winner. Hopefully, he's not in the room, unfortunately. So we'll bring someone down. We'll pick someone at random. Who do you think we should bring in?
Yeah, someone to bring down might be Matty Reid. I'm just trying to figure out. He unfortunately had a DNF early on the race. We might be able to see what he thought of his incident earlier on in the race. We're unable to grab a hold of him at the moment. We'll see if we can get anyone down. Might not be possible, but for now, we'll have to have a look back at that Tim Harris incident where he was getting quite. He just couldn't get hold of the car, Clint, and unfortunately, he just lost a few positions, and then it just all went wrong.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's as I said, like as the race went on, his car just looked loose, and it looked strong at the start there, but it just went off about quarter race distance, I reckon it was, and just pretty much from there on he was fighting it. So perhaps you're right, maybe there was some sort of damage to the car, or perhaps a faulty part on the car which the team didn't pick up in the pits, unfortunately. So, and just got loose into that turn 1 and pretty much put himself out of the race. And then tell you what, Danny Vassell, he was counting his lucky stars there because he did make contact, but obviously not too much damage to his car, and still managed to get that 5th place finish.
Yeah, another person who had a bit of a controversy tonight was Bob King in that race. He was just unable to get a hold of the car. He got under fire from Vassell later on in the race and struggled a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really weird seeing King struggle. Generally, we see him and the Synergy Sim racing drivers have really good setups, and they can actually carry on the momentum throughout the nights, because usually every week I've watched this and I've called it, you see TTL cars, they come on really strong at the start, and the Synergy Sim racing cars come on towards the end of a race. So it's very interesting to see the two different teams and the way they set up their cars. But obviously tonight's Lewis Hewitt, his car was definitely on rails in the longer runs.
Well, we're going to be able to get someone down for sure now. We've been able to get a hold of a couple people. We'll try to bring down Matty Reid once again. Give us 2 seconds.
Sorry, cheers, man. Thank you.
Well, we've got not a hold of that person here. We'll get a hold of this person here. Matty Reid, welcome to the RRT commentary box, mate. Are you there?
Yeah, mate, yep.
Yeah, g'day, buddy. Unfortunate result for you there at the end. Unable to get a finish, all 30 laps down. Do you want to just give us a bit of a rundown on what happened for your night?
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate incident. I guess, yeah, we just slowed down for a couple of cars and got cleaned up. But, yeah, no, it was not too bad of a night in the heats and stuff. So in the heat, sorry.
Yeah, the main, it was just unfortunate. You pretty much first lap incident and took you out of the race, unfortunately. How did your heat races go? Or your heat race?
Yeah, the heat race wasn't too bad. We started 5th and ran 5th, so we made the transfer and straight through. But, yeah.
Yeah, no problems, mate. Would you like to thank anyone before we let you go?
Yep, like to obviously thank VRT, right? VRT, and all their associated sponsors, Gavin Sadler Racing, and all his associated sponsors too.
Yeah, no worries, Matty. Well, we'll let you go get prepared for your next race. Are you coming into the sprint cars for the final event of the night?
Yes. So, see how we go on that one.
No worries, Matty Reed. Well, thank you very much for joining the RRTV commentary box. We'll let you go.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to head over to ads while we get the servers up and running. We'll be back with you quite shortly for the WP Concreting sprint cars.
Once again, photo finish here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMeritt at the line. Well, welcome back from the ads, guys. Welcome back to the WP Concreting Sprint Car Raceway, event number 3 for the night of the Australian Speedway League. Round 4 here at Knoxville Raceway. Well, Clint, we've seen 2 events so far, and they were a cracker. We're sure in for one for the third one.
Definitely, the 410s always bring you out to really good action. It does, obviously. It's what everyone knows Knoxville for, is obviously Knoxville Nationals, which is run over in America. So, and that's the main reason why it's called Knoxville, sprint car capital of the world, because yeah, anywhere that's got dirt racing, they know of Knoxville.
Yeah, well, when you're contesting for six digits of money, it's definitely going to be a great race for sure, and pull out the best races. Well, we're not competing for 6 digits, but we are competing for that #1 spot for tonight. And well, on the top of the times at the moment, Joel Berkeley in practice.
Yeah, definitely, with Jock Goodyear, his teammate, just sitting there in that second place as well, with Lewis Hewitt there in that third. So TTL Esports currently first, second and third. But as we all know, practice times don't really mean everything, because a lot of these drivers will set fast laps on a fresh track.
That's correct. The track does degrade over time, and they will push them up further in the track. They look to run the middle of the track earlier on the night in their hot lap sessions we call the practice. And well, as you see a few more drivers coming out now trying to get a few laps in at the moment. We've still had, 29 cars come out here and put a lap time down, and the lap times are looking pretty quick still.
Yeah, definitely. So we know the actual event's locked out to 30 drivers maximum. So we've got a full field for you here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for the WP Concreting World of Outlaws. So we'll just quickly run through the weather conditions as well. We're facing exactly the same weather conditions as what we saw in the midgets. So we got overcast with 26 degrees air temperature, with the track being 26. So obviously, as I said, exactly the same conditions. So hopefully it'll be exactly the same action we saw in the midgets.
And as we say that, it is a night race, so expect the weather to be a little bit colder than if it was during the day with the sun out. The track goes a lot quicker, but overnight the wind might play a factor in this. We'll see what these guys can do. Still on top of the timetable, Joel Berkeley and good Jock Goodyear. Jock had a bit of a run over the Easter time in Australia, and he had an amazing weekend. In my behalf, I watched all 3 nights of him racing, and well, for a 16-year-old, he's doing himself well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw on his Facebook he posted he got a 6th place finish, I think, at Premier Speedway in Victoria in the final night of the Easter Trail. So considering it's his first season in the 410s, I'm pretty sure it is. He's definitely showing the veterans exactly how it's done. I'll be looking forward to watching his progression next season.
Yeah, well, as saying that, he had the likes of James McFadden, Jamie Veal, all those sort of guys. They were out there. Corey McCullough, who's actually had a really good season. But yeah, getting back to what we're looking at on our screens, Joel Berkeley, he's had an amazing night so far. He was able to take he was able to take 2nd position in the midget to he lost the position to Lewis Hewitt.
Yeah, just catching up on a few things. It looks like, with this 30-car limit on the rooms, unfortunately, one of our fast drivers, Ryan Gordon, unfortunately misses his spot in this field because he didn't register quick enough. So, unfortunately, that's one of our quick drivers. He misses out on a spot in the room.
Don't worry, guys. Don't get discouraged. We've still got plenty of quick drivers out there. That's 30 quick drivers out on track. So don't walk away. We've still got another event of racing to go. We've still got qualifying, a heat for all drivers, the consolidation, and our feature race.
Yeah, while we go a quick moment, we'll quickly run through your current series points. Leading the way is Bob King. He's currently sitting in 4th at the moment on track. Daniel Gow sitting in the 2nd place on 400 points. So 42 points separating those 2 drivers. On 394 points is Joel Berkeley. In 4th place is Lachlan Smith on 380 points. On 376 points is Dylan Sharman in 5th place. Aaron Kelly is your 6th place driver, sitting on 364 points. With 356 points, directly behind him is James Robbie in 7th place. Matt Reed, who we just spoken to in the interview from the Race Mertz Midgets race, he's sitting there in 8th place in the 410s. in 352 points. And on 350 points, Corey Masuki in 9th. And rounding out your top 10 is Daniel Vassell sitting on 346 points.
So Clint, a very close point battle here, and Bob King will try to extend his lead out in this race. Well, it's going to be a tricky track to do it, especially for the likes of Joe Berkeley, Jock Goodyear, Lewis Stewart, John Schultz. They're all out there gaining as many points as they can, so he's going to have a perfect night here.
Well, exactly. I mean, Knoxville's got to put on really fast racing. It's a lot faster than what we've seen at previous events with the short tracks and things like that. So Eldora last week obviously was our first high-speed track. But Knoxville, being as wide as it is as well, doesn't have as much banking as Eldora. So you're going to see a lot more slide jobs happening on these flatter surfaces, I think. So I think possibly a lot of these drivers are just going to have to try and race smart tonight and try and make sure they come away through the field and not get any damage to their cars.
Yeah, saying that, if you get a bit too high and get just even a little bump or even get a bit wobbly, that wall will catch you pretty quickly. And it is a pretty high catch fence, but you want to make sure you stick your all four wheels to the ground as much as possible, and possibly see a couple two-wheel monos down the front straight.
Yeah, and that's something different we're going to see in these 410s as well compared to the previous two classes we've seen tonight. Is these sprint cars, they would like to run right up against that wall as well, so a lot higher than what the midgets do and the street stocks do. Obviously, because they've got those big wings on top, those wings just sucks your car to the track and keeps them nicely planted. So, but in saying that, if you wind the wing a little bit too far back, it will lift your front wheels off the ground. So fine-tuning where that wing is throughout the night as to suit the track conditions is definitely going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, being able to move the wing back during the night, the top wing, we say that is due to the technology that is sitting on those cars that have improved over time. They're able to pull that one back with the wind, but they're unable to push it forwards unless we go yellow due to the pressure that's being pushed against those wings.
Yeah, exactly. So still leading the way is Joel Berkeley with Jock Goodyear in second place. Lewis Hewitt still at third place, and fourth place Bob King. So not much happening in this qualifying session, so in this practice session with 50 seconds left to go on the clock before we hit qualifying. Who do you reckon's going to get quick time tonight in the WP Concreting World of Outlaws Series, Bailey?
Yeah, times are very close at the moment, and the top 5 are separated by about just over 2/10. I'm going to have to put my money on Lewis Hewitt. I've seen him over the past couple of months. He's shown some speed, especially around Knoxville with the sessions I've joined in with him. But, we'll see what he's got on his table tonight. Clint, yourself?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to have to go for Jock Goodyear. I mean, you can easily look at Joel Berkeley, but I reckon Goodyear definitely going to have something, I think, for Berkeley tonight. He's going to get that pole position.
Yeah, saying that, Ultimate Dirt TV's in the chat room here at youtube.com/RRTV, and he's been able to put in his vote. He reckons Joel Berkeley will be able to go quick time. No, sorry, he thinks he'll win the sprint cars tonight. He thinks he'll take out the event. That's a big call early on in the night. But practice is now over our hot lap sessions, as we'll send these cars out qualifying. As Marcus Konixa is the first one out. See what he's got on the table in the 55 car. See what type of lap times he can do. Name we don't see too often, myself. And he'll get that car up to full speed as quick as possible. As you mentioned earlier, Clint, in the midgets, the first lap is generally getting the momentum going. This track is a momentum track.
Yeah, you see that during the racing. As soon as you lose any momentum, you just get swamped by cars. So, as you said, being able to maintain that and have nothing affect you, like pretty much losing the rear or a bit of understeer and things like that, you're definitely going to have to watch out for that to make sure you carry those RPM. So, at the moment, these drivers are almost reaching 200 Ks down these straights, and they go over. So there we go. So King reached 230 Ks down that front straight, and he slots himself into provisional pole position with a 16.3 that time by Dale Jordanson sitting in second place right now. Gavin Sandler slots himself. Then saying that Marcus Konixa with a 16.3 now.
Yeah, very quick lap out there. He's still got one to do it, and there's still a lot of left on the track. He'll come into turn 3 and 4 now, Marcus. Joel Berkeley goes to the top. Marcus will lose that second lap. Now we head on board with Joel Berkeley for his second lap. See what he can do. He comes in the turn. Gets it nice and high for the wall. He's got to make sure he doesn't touch that wall. He hit a 1X, otherwise it could be costly. Crosses the line, goes quicker again. 16.124. Cool time, Joel Berkeley at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Still a lot of fast drivers. Still yet to set a time. Jock Goodyear in that 7th place on his first lap. The 16.4. Watch his second lap around. And so then Joel Berkeley goes faster than last time by the 16 flat. So he got quicker and quicker as the race went on. But I'm keeping an eye on now, man. Jock Goodyear slots himself into 2nd place with 16.1 with 1 lap left to go. As we saw with Berkeley, he got quicker and quicker as the run went on. Bob King back out on track now for his final laps.
Jimmy Harris is still out there at the moment. He's in the TTL 48. He's still qualifying at the moment. He crosses the line. See what he can do. He's currently in 9th position at the moment. He's got himself as about 4.5 tenths back from Joel Berkeley. He's got himself a 16.467.
Yes, as we've still got 2 minutes left to go on the clock. Pretty much there's only a handful of drivers still set to a lap. Danny Vass was one of our man. Can he improve his time? He goes across the line and yes, he slots himself up into 12th place with a 16.5. So good lap there from Danny Vassell. But I'm pretty sure that's everyone done their lap. So Joel Berkeley picks up your quick time for round 4 of the WP Concreting World of Outlaws here. So in your 2nd place goes to Lewis Hewitt. Jock Goodyear gets that 3rd place with Bob King only matching a 4th place. They will be a little bit disappointed with that, but still can make it work in the heat races. Marcus Knitska, great effort there in that 5th place with Craig Dunn getting 6th. John Schultz getting a 7th and Gavin Sandler in that 8th. Tim Harris in the 9th, and your top 10 for qualifying is Carl Hoffman's.
Yeah, 11th. Ryan Harris is looking in there. He's about 500ths down the track. Daniel Vassell and Scott Butler, 13. 14th was Stephen Watson, 15th was Dave Douglas. So, well, Clint, the top 15, they were pretty close together and not much on the track.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to mean these heat races are going to be really hot tonight. Just a bit of a shout to Tristan there in our YouTube chat. He's going for 4 people tonight by the looks of it. I think it's Joel, Lewis, or Bob, or even Jock. So obviously he's going for 3 TTL esports drivers with 1 SSR driver thrown in there. So there are his picks for the race.
Well, we'll get Heat 1 underway here for the WP Concreting Sprint Car Series here. Is out on track in P number 1 with the number 9 of Joel Berkeley starting on his outside will be Bob King. Off row number 2 will be John Schultz with Carl Hoffman starting on his outside. Scott Butler in 5th with Dale Jordanson in 6th. Brendan Hamilton will round out as it will be 7th with Lewis Clark in 8th. 9th on the final row, the 5th row tonight will be Carl Stevenson. George Fullerton will be in the 10th row.
Yeah, sorry viewers, one thing we forgot to mention before the start of qualifying as well is the race format for tonight. So obviously we just had a qualifying session there for 3 laps for each of the drivers, with heat 1 being 8 laps, with the top 5 taking to the feature race. Then they'll be the same for the heat race 2 and heat race 3. So 3 heat races tonight for 30 cars, so you'll see 10 cars in each heat race. Obviously, whoever's left over after the 5 cars have transferred from each heat, they go through to the last chance qualifier for 12 laps, with it starts taking through the top 6, I believe it is. And then we got your feature race to end the night for the WP Concreting World of Outlaws for 30 laps. We go dirty for 30 there, Bailey.
30 for 30. These cars are starting to head off the grid. 10 per heat for this race. 10 cars per heat will take the grid. 3 heats, as you mentioned, Clint, as Joel Berkeley will take P1 for this one. He took P1 for heat number 1 in the midgets also. So he's having a ripper of a night so far. See what he's got under the belt, but don't be worried. Bob King and the Synergy Sin Racing 51 will be on that outside. That outside line's going to be where it's at tonight. Whoever can get up there as quick as possible, get the momentum going quicker, that person will have a better shot at it. John Schultz, he's a person not to be scared of either. Sorry. He's shown some awesome speed also tonight. Carl Hoffman's in 4th position, Clint. We'll get these cars going very quickly. 8 laps on the board here. Clint will get ready to take these cars away very shortly. So we're 1-2 green. The pace car lights will come off this time by.
So Berkeley versus King on the front row. So we got TTO Esports against Synergy Sim Racing. Pace car pulls in the pits. They're under starters orders, waiting for that green. And green is on, and we are away for Heat 1 of your WP Concreting World of Outlaws series here at Knoxville. Good start there from Joel Berkeley, gets the run. Bob King around the outside, tries to carry the momentum, switches to the inside, tries to slide up, but Berkeley manages to hang on to a sing. In that 3rd place is Schultz there, and that's Worm Paint, beautifully presented orange car. So a couple of cars getting fairly loose there towards the back, and someone's around, and unfortunately we won't see no yellows during this heat racing there, Bailey.
Yeah, big incident down the back. It involved Kyle Stevens and George Fullerton, but he's still out there. The 422 car of Brendan Hamilton. Sorry, my elementary's going wrong, but there was a few cars around there, and a couple cars will go out of that race. Now still back up the front, Joel Berkeley in the number 9 car. He'll still lead Bob King, but John Schultz, Carl Hoffman. Well, it's all going on in heat race number 1.
Yeah, definitely. There's a big battle going on between Dale Jordanson and Scott Butler for the final transfer spot. Butler's holding the inside, and Jordanson's trying to move him up higher because he wants to run the low line there. So Butler decides to switch to the outside, and now Jordanson does exactly the same thing. So right now they're pretty much mirroring each other's moves. These sprint cars don't have any rear view mirrors, so you have no idea what's happening behind you. So battle's definitely on for that final transfer spot.
Yeah, you've got a sense where that car is coming from. You listen to the sounds around you as the scenic sounds as Joel Berkeley gets it 2 wheels on the wall. He's helped hold on to it now. Bob King now he's going to march his way forward to try and get as many positions as he can. Just confirming those Hoffmans and Stevens retired after that second lap incident there. Now we'll see coming down the back straight. We'll cover the 1 to run this time by as Joel Berkeley currently is getting his dirty air held up. With over 500 car of George Philbin. That almost ended badly for Joel Berkeley. If you want to take the last lap for us, please.
Yeah, definitely coming around the final corner. Berkeley's coming around. He's going to pick up Heat 1 for the WP Concreting World of Outlaws. Bob King securing that 2nd place, so he's transferred into the feature race automatically. Getting that 3rd place goes to John Schultz. Well done there, picking up that 3rd place, with Dale Jordanson picking up 4th, and Scott Butler manages to just hold out Brendan Hamilton to secure that final transfer spot. So Brendan Hamilton's going to have to come through the last chance qualifier. Lewis Clark gets that 7th place finish, and George Fullerton, you see just at there, just getting lapped by our leaders, and puts into the wall. He manages to finish in 8th place.
Well, we know who's going to start our aim main tonight. Joel Berkeley's going to start off that front row, but we're going to see who can come on his outside now. Lewis Hewitt will start out of P number 1 with Michael Konicka out of 2. Gavin Sadler will start the 2nd row with Ryan Harris on his outside for heat number 2. 5th will be Stephen Watson, Michelle Callow, Billy Ryan and James Robbie will start the 4th row. 5th row will be Cody Moroska and rounding out the top 10, your final position for heat number 2, Daniel Page.
Yeah, so there's going to be another cracking race. Marcus Konicka is starting off right alongside Lewis Hewitt, so it's going to be really interesting to see how he's going to be able to go in this race. We're going to have Gavin Sandler there and Ryan Harris as well trying to make it past. But just a bit of a shout out to Tristan, also commented in the YouTube chat. If he was racing tonight, he would save me. So, yeah, obviously he's pretty itching to get back out there racing at some point. So, big shout out to you, Tristan. Hopefully you can jump into one of these servers one day and have some fun.
Well, we'll go 8 laps back on the board. They're up on the clock, up there ready to rock and rumble. We'll see Lewis Hewitt for the TTL Esports in the nice bluey greeny colour. Take that away. He's outside being Marcus Kazitska. Well, Clint, put your money. Where do you think will Lewis Hewitt finish this one?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to tip Lewis Hewitt to get the win in this one, but your dark horse you're going to have to keep an eye on is definitely Marcus Knitska. I mean, he's starting off on the outside, and the outside generally does carry a lot more momentum through the first corner, so it's going to be interesting to see what Lewis Hewitt does here, if he's going to drift up straight away on the first corner, or if he's just going to hold the inside line. But I think if Lewis holds the inside line, Knitska will definitely get a run on him and possibly lead the first lap.
Well, Gavin Sadler's in 3rd position and Ryan Harris in 4th. We're going to get rid of the pace cut off the track very shortly. Clint, take us away.
No problem, waiting for that green light. Green light's away for Heat 2. And a great start there from Knitska on the outside. But insane, they just loses all momentum. There's been a couple cars coming together further
Gavin
back.
Sadler and Stephen Watts get together on lap number 1, turn number 1.
Definitely, so you see that unfortunately for Knitska, got loose there going to the first corner and lost positions. So you got TTL 1 and 2 at the moment with Hewitt leading Harris. Knitska still seen there in that worm paint in 3rd place with Billy Ryan in 4th, and your final transfer spot is Cody Moriski.
Yeah, 6 Robbie and Lewis Hewitt's now got about 6 cars on Marcus Knitska. On top of Ryan Harris, his teammate. They've currently got the 1-2. Marcus Knitska is currently in 3rd position. That 55 car trying to go up the inside. Can he make it? Sticky car. Ryan Harris will get a bit of run off that quarter. Billy Rise, they'll just try to hold into his spot 4th position where he wants to sit, but he'd like to go further up the track. Lewis Hewitt has said, I'm out of here, but Ryan Harris now is trying to hold on to that 2nd position with, well, he's under threat from Marcus Knitska.
Yeah, with 5 laps left to go on the board, there's a big battle going on between James Robbie and Cody Moriski, battling it out for that final transfer spot further back through the field. You see Robbie, he doesn't want to go through that last chance qualifier. He wants to go automatically into the A main.
Oh, big one. Ryan Harris and Marcus Knitska get together. Ryan Harris goes out of the race.
Yeah, I just happened to see that just as I was watching the battle further to the back. So now those 2 drivers, unfortunately, since Harris is going to DNF, those 2 drivers now both going to get transferred to the A main as long as they keep it clean. But up front, you see Hewitt, he's massively checked out. He's got the whole back straight lead. So as I said, starting at that inside pole position, he had no chance at losing this race, I believe.
Yeah, Gavin Sadler was able to get back out on track. He's in 6th position at the moment. He's trying to get himself a few more positions, but he's just holding on in at the moment, trying to get as high up in that last chance consolidation as the race has now come to a finish. Lewis Hewitt will win heat number 2 with Marcus Knitska coming home in 2nd, Billy Ryan in 3rd, Cody Moroski in 4th, James Robbie in 5th, taking the 5th and final transfer position to the feature. Gavin Sadler will come home in 6th, Stephen Watts in 7th, and your Michelle Callow in 8th. Your DNS were 9th and 10th. Well, Clint, do you want to take away heat number 3, our final heat for tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Just want to say, Ryan Harris is... definitely he must have stepped under a ladder or something tonight, because he couldn't catch a break during the race Merch Midgets series tonight, and obviously he's having a fairly bad luck in the 410 tonight. So hopefully his luck changes in the B main later on, and he can get a transfer. But your starting positions for Heat 3 is Jock Goodyear starting off in 1st place. Right alongside him in the front row be Craig Dunn. Tim Harris and Daniel Vassell is your 2nd row. We have Dave Douglas and Brett Garatz in 5th and 6th. 7th place goes to Jacob Law with Aaron Kelly in 8th place. And your final row for your final heat tonight, Terry Marwood starting up in 9th place, and Matt Reed rounding out your 10-car field.
Jock Goodyear, the 16-year-old from TTL Esports, is going to try and his luck in the 410 sprint cars here at iracing.com. We're here in the heat number 3 for the WP
Sprint Car Concrete, WP Concrete Sprint Car Series here for the Australian Speedway League. Guys, don't forget, check us out on facebook.com/RRTV Live so you know all the upcoming events, details, and event results for each of our events. We broadcast here live here at RRTV. We do our best to make sure we can keep our broadcast continuing with your supports even better.
Yeah, I tell you what, big congratulations to TTL Esports. They've had in all 3 heat races tonight. They've locked out the pole position in all heat races. So well done to TTL Esports. Definitely one of the main contenders when it comes to dirt racing. But obviously, a lot of teams are knocking on their door to overtake that top step.
Well, not long to run now. The pace car will get his lights turned off as we pull it down the back straight here at Knoxville Raceway for the 3rd time tonight. Clint, do you want to take it away?
Yes, definitely. So we got Goodyear versus Dunn on the front row. Pace cars in. We're waiting for the green light, and the green flag is waving, and we are away for heat 3. Goodyear gets up to a really good start there, and Harris goes with him to TTL drivers following him 3. Harris actually tries to lead the way coming out of 2, but doesn't get the run, and Goodyear leads the way now. Dunn slots himself into that 3rd place position, but there's a battle further back. In the Kerry Madsen looking car is Dave Douglas. He just got passed there by Danny Vassell.
Yeah, the 53 of Jacob Law got a bit sideways on 2 wheels. We've got a car around. That's the 20. Looks to be the 28 car of Dave Douglas. He's gone around. He's lost a few positions. Jumping back up in the pack now. Jock Goodyear. Oh, jeez, I'm all over it tonight. He still leads his teammate Craig Dunn in the TTL 1-2 at the moment. Tim Harris. Craig Dunn now in 3rd position. Telementary's going spaz as they're all over at the moment. 2 cars battling it out at the moment. The 97 car, of Daniel Vassell.
Yeah, unfortunately, Aaron Kelly and Matt Reed, they came together towards the back of the field, both battling to get past Garrett, who's in that final transfer spot, and they came together and unfortunately, Matt Reed's out of the race. Aaron Kelly is continuing, although he is a long way behind our leaders. Terry Marwood now battling hard up against Jacob Law in 6th and 7th place, but your final transfer spot is still your spotlight driver tonight, Brett Garrett.
Yeah, the 48 car got a bit sideways. He's lost a couple of positions. Timmy Harris, he's going to have to hold in now as that car could have caused a little bit of damage though. 2 wide coming out of turn number 4 was Daniel Vassell, and Craig Dunn still holding in there is the number 57 car of Craig Dunn. He'll swap back in behind, but he'll jump back down the low side. He thinks that's going to work for him. Now Vassell gets a little bit sideways, needs to hold on to it now. Going back up to Jock Goodyear. He'll come into the final lap and just hold on to it. He got a little bit, car was upside down, as he comes along the back straight for the final time. Turn 3 and 4. Clint, he's going to win this one.
Yeah, checker flag is out to Jock Goodyear. Picks up heat 3, their final heat of the night from WP Concreting World of Outlaw Series. Getting that 2nd place is Danny Vassell. Great job for him moving up through the field. And directly behind him was Craig Dunn. And in that 4th place is Tim Harris, and getting that final transfer spot is your spotlight driver, Brett Garrett.
Well, we're going to head over to the consolidation, most known as the last chance to make the big dance, known here in Australia. And we're going to get the grid underway. 15 cars will take this one. And 5 will make it to the feature for the 30-lap race. Brendan Hamilton will take it away in P number 1 with Gavin Sadler 2. Terry Marwood in 3 with Lois Clark in 4. 5th will be Stephen Watts, and 6th will be Jacob Law. 7th will be George Fullerton. Michelle Callow will come in at 8th position, Clint. 9th will be Dave Douglas. 10th will be Kyle Stevens. Ryan Harris, unfortunately, has not had the night he wanted. He'll come out of 11th. 12th will be Aaron Kelly. 13th, Carl Hofford. 14th, Daniel Page. And rounding out your top 15 will be Matty Reed.
Well, Clint, 12 laps on the board, 5 to make the big dance. How do we think this one's going to go?
Oh yeah, I mean, once again, it's you got a lot of big names in this field that shouldn't be in this field. Like you got Sandler, he definitely shouldn't be here. He shouldn't automatically be an aimer. We've been saying all night that he's a guy you constantly see in the top 10, but unfortunately he was involved in the heat race incident, and that's put him out this last chance qualifier. Another person got to keep an eye out for once again, as we've been mentioning him all night, is Ryan Harris. He's going to have to come way through the field, starting all the way back in 12th place. I believe it is, so he's a fair way back through the field. So yeah, a lot of quick drivers that shouldn't be in it, but hopefully they can make their way into the top 5 and make that transfer, as you say.
As we call it, doing the alphabet, if they can make it from the B to the A. Generally it's from the C, but we'll see what they can do. The lights are out on the pace truck for the second last time tonight. Clint, if you want to take it away for the last chance dance, the consolidation 12 laps here at Knoxville.
Pace car's about to go in, and there it goes. It pulls in. We're getting ready to send them away, and it is green flag is out, and we are away for the last chance qualifier. Big wheel stand there, and 2 cars came together. That's your first and 4th place finisher there. But Hamilton leads the way now with Sadler directly behind him. These cars are holding nothing back.
Yeah, Terry Marwood went head first straight into the wall there. Yellows aren't on for this race. Beware. We've still got more incidents. Oh, cars all over the track at the moment still. Brendan Hamilton will lead Gavin Sadler.
Yeah, right now a lot of these cars are really loose to start here. 12 laps on the board. Someone's all over the place further back to the green and white car of Jacob Law. He's definitely loose, and he comes together with another car, and he's out.
Yeah, Jacob Law and Michelle Callow got together there, upside down. As we'll go back to the front, Gavin Sadler's now on the top side of Brendan Hamilton. He's got that position back. So he finally got into that first position. Third spot at the moment, Stephen Watts up on the top side. Down on the bottom, no, is Kyle Stevens. He's got the 3rd position, but not too far back. Aaron Kelly, he's looking to go up the field as quick as possible. He's in the 5th. Now he'll slot back in front. Now Stephen Watts takes the 5th position.
So we see Matt Reed and Daniel Page came together in there as well. So those 2 are out of the race. There you go, DNFs. So we're down to 9 cars here. So remember, we're taking top 5. So with 7 laps left to go on the board. Kyle Stevens still in that 3rd place. He's being hounded directly behind him by Aaron Kelly. So those 2 drivers are automatically locked in as long as they can hold that position. Steve Watts seen there in that 5th place. He's your final transfer place holder at the moment. But chasing him down is Ryan Harris. He's got damage to the car. You have a look at his car. He's missing his front guard. He's missing his front wing, but he's pushing hard to try and get that final spot.
Yeah, that car's all over the place at the moment. He's trying to get as much boot into the pedal as quick as possible out of those corners. He's got it round. He's hit the inside. He's been able to keep it clean. He's off. He's pulled himself off the track very quickly and respectfully. So we jump back up to Gavin Sadler now, who's currently still leading the race over Kyle Stevens. He's almost got 2 seconds. About 10 car lengths down the track. He's got them whole straight on top of him. The 3-car battle of Kyle Stevens, Brendan Hamilton and Aaron Kelly.
Yeah, so see Hamilton is just getting blocks in at the moment between Stevens there and Kelly on the inside. So really can't do much with it. Kelly up the inside now, coming out of the corner. Does he slide up? No, he stays down low, so his car's set up low for this race. Gaining momentum directly behind him is Hamilton, but can't carry it down the straight. And around the outside now goes Hamilton with 2 laps left to go, but straight back comes Stevens there.
Yes, Watts has still got that 5th and final transfer spot at the moment. Gavin Sadler, he's still got that whole straightaway leap over him. He'll come to the white flag. We've got 1 lap to go here at the consolidation, the final chance to make the big one here at Knoxville Raceway. Turns 3 and 4 as we come to the checkered flag. Gavin Sadler will take the last chance dance.
Yes, big congratulations there to Gavin Sandler. So he makes the dance later on tonight. In second place goes to Carl Stevens. He makes a transfer. Aaron Kelly in that third place. Brendan Hamilton in fourth. And your final transfer for tonight's A main of the WP Concreting World of Outlaws series is Stephen Watts. As we see some fireworks going off for the B main, so it's good that they're celebrating the B main, but we want to see the A main coming up soon.
Yeah, the fireworks are for the crowd here at Knoxville Raceway. So we get ready to grid up our final race for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the coverage here at RRTV. We have sure enjoyed covering it for you guys. We want to know, who are you going to pick for your 1, 2, 3 for tonight's race here in the 410 sprint cars? Well, it's the great top 3 at the moment. Joel Berkeley, Lewis Hewitt, Josh Goodyear, Bob King, Raz at the top 4.
Definitely, and in that 5th place starting will be Marcus Knitska. Daniel Vassell in that 6th place right alongside him on that 3rd row. Your 4th row will be in the 7th place John Schultz. Billy Ryan will be off 8th, and 9th goes to Craig Dunn, and right alongside of him, rounding out your top 10 will be Dale Jordanson.
Well, the pace car will kick off and get these cars on the go. Looking a bit further back, the Royal car, the 22 car, Cody Morosky, he went up on 2 wheels, just taken off from there, so that car is ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I think a lot of these drivers are eager to get this A main started. Everyone likes to race at Knoxville, so no doubt this race to turn the action on. So just hopefully we don't see too many yellow flag runs in this one.
Berkeley and Hewitt checking out the top side, seeing what's left up there in the way of moisture. See if they're going to be able to get up there as quick as possible. But what are we got in store? The pace car lights go out. Just reminding everyone, we got 30 laps on the board. The yellows are on. Expect to see 1 or 2 of those because this car is vicious.
I tell you what, once again we got TTL and SSR locking out the top 4. With TTL got 3 cars inside that top 4, as I said. So you got Berkeley, you've got Harris, you got Hewitt, Goodyear, and then you also got King there as well. Lights are out, so we're getting ready to go green. Take them away, Bailey, if you like.
Berkeley, Hewitt will take the front row, taken to the green flag that drops. They're away. Berkeley and Goodyear get a great start up the inside row. Hewitt up top as quick as possible. Now, up the inside, Knitska gets a bit sideways. We're 3 wide down the straight. Berkeley will be able to continue it off 3. Top 3, yellow, but Berkeley, Goodyear, Hewitt had a brilliant start.
Yeah, they did. I'm just looking at that incident, what happened just there. Yeah, just Daniel Vassell unfortunately got into Bob Keane, which found himself back further for the field where he wants to be, and both cars went into the wall hard, and King pretty much came straight back onto the track, and all hell broke loose from there. You had a lot of cars involved, but a lot of people made it through unscathed as well, which is really good, but very unfortunate for Bob King. He manages to continue, but he's going to be further back through the field, slot himself all the way back in 20th position. I think he's in 14th.
Extensive, very expensive night for him tonight. That car is absolutely cooked at the moment, but a car to look out for with a 41 of James Robbie in the Gavin Saylor Racing. He's currently sitting in the top 10 position. He'll be looking to find his way up to the podium as quick as possible, but we've seen speed from Marcus Knitska all night. We'll see what these guys have got in store for us for sure, as Joel Berkeley will be able to lead us away. Pace car lights will go off this time by. We'll see what they've got in store for us. Jock Goodyear had a great start off the inside there, Clint.
You know, these TTL drivers all checked out, but it's really good to see Marcus Knitska. He's hanging with them, so he's good. Definitely going to be a dark horse for this race. But you see Joel Berkeley, he's eager to get this thing back green again. He doesn't want to see too many roll-around laps, so perhaps he started a little bit low on fuel and he wants to get going again.
Yeah, he might have added a bit too much fuel. We'll see what these guys have got in store for us. We'll come around the back straight Well, for the second time starting these cars off, this is the second time we'll drop the green flag here at Knoxville Raceway. 410 sprint cars, WP Concreting. Clint, take us away.
And we are off again. Berkeley gets a great start there, pulls away from Jock Goodyear, good 7 car lengths. Lewis Hewitt goes with him as well, but there's a battle going on between 4th place between the teammates of Stevens of Schultz and Knitska. And they're battling really hard back through the field. You may see 2 cars make contact with Harris coming through there as well, so Harris now finds himself in that 5th place position.
Yeah, 3 wide along the straights at the moment. Yellow, yellow, yellow. They go back to yellow racing. We'll find out what happened there for you very quickly. Do our best, but Timmy Harris, he had a great run there. He got himself in the 5th position.
Yeah, so it looks like Craig Dunn's come together with John Schultz, who was battling there early on. So perhaps John Schultz got a bit of car damage when he made contact with one of the other drivers further up the field, and unfortunately both himself and Dunn came together, and Dunn tipped it on its roof, and his race is over. Bob King was definitely lucky as well not to clip him on the way through.
Lewis Hewitt, he's in 3rd position at the moment. He took out the race merch midgets there. Clint, he'll be eager to get going again, as we say. They are always lap 8 of 30 currently in the pacing laps as we go around. The laps do add up. We do not roll back a lap, and we do not pause the laps here at iracing.com services. So we'll see what these cars got in store for us. The TTL still got 1, 2, 3, but Knitska, Marcus, the dark horse of the race, he's looking in on the 3rd to try and break the TTL lockout.
Definitely. You also got another TTL car in top 5 as well, Tim Harris. So TTL having a stellar night tonight. Unfortunately, it's not what Bob King wanted to see, being further back through the field. He's still currently in 13th place. I'll tell you what, your biggest move of the race so far is Gavin Sandler. He came through your last chance qualifier, finds himself sitting in 9th place, getting 7 positions. Tim Harris has also moved up 7 positions where he started, finding himself in 5th. But it's great to see Sandler making his way forward, showing his true potential, as we said, top 10 driver in dirt racing.
Well, lap 9 of 30 currently. TTL, as we say multiple times, a lockout at the moment. We hope you still are joining in with us here at RRTV live on YouTube, Twitch and Facebook. We do our best to bring this to you worldwide. It's going to be a great one. We're getting ready to send him green. Clint takes away.
And you see John Berkeley gets a quick jump there, so he pulls away from his teammate Goodyear, greens away. Hewitt's battling hard against Knitska further back to the field, but he's dropped him off. But Harris now battling hard with Knitska on the inside. He slides up on top of him. Knitska's got no answer for that. He can't come back at him, so Harris has that position locked out for that 4th place. So currently TTO Esports burst to 4th. Knitska now is trying to hold off the 6th place driver of Dale Jordanson there. But Jordanson gets a bad one coming out of 2, Bailey.
Yeah, Timmy Harris has got a bit of a Jock Goodyear hits the ball. Timmy Harris will take the 3rd position on the outside. Jock Goodyear holds in just at the moment. Timmy Harris will get the run out of the corner though. That will see him claim the 3rd position of Jock Goodyear. Lewis Hewitt, as we say, is up the 3rd. Jock Goodyear goes to the dive down the bottom. It's like a TTL practice at the moment. These guys are flying out the front. Knitska now loses that position to 6th position. As Dale Jordanson will go up, they got a bit whoop, 3 wide. Gavin Sadler up the inside, he'll claim the 5th position.
See, Goodyear pulls a massive slide job on his teammate Harris, and they make contact, so they've lost massive momentum on the other 2 up front of Hewitt and Berkeley. And Harris now under the threat of Gavin Sandler, who now finds himself in the top 5, so he's up 11 positions from the start of this race. So Sandler is showing his true potential, as I said, running that low line, trying to get that position from Harris.
Yeah, James Robert, he's got himself up 3 positions. He's in 7th position. He was in 10th at the restart. He's up the inside of Marcus Knitska. He must be hovering a lot of damage in that car, because he's just got nothing to answer to any of these cars on the pass. Dale Jordanson now, he goes for the slide job on Billy Ryan. He gets it done on the outside. Now, Royal, he'll still get up the inside now, trying to get it done. As we jump back up to the front, Lewis Hewitt is still in 2nd position. The Joel Berkeley's got pretty much a straight on top of him.
Yeah, Berkeley's just taking it nice and easy now. He can pretty much place that car wherever he wants, and it's working for him. He's running high, he's running low. It's coming out to lap traffic soon though, so he's got to be careful of Stevens there when he laps him, that he doesn't get involved in any instances. But as you said, Hewitt's still sitting there in that second place, with Goodyear still in that third place now. The Sandler's still trying to put a move on Harris. They're still sticking to that low line. Even knowing it's really starting to slicken off, he's still trying to make it work.
Yeah, Gavin Sadler's got himself up in the 5th position still. Timmy Harris, Jock Goodyear now in, he's got a bit of swamp in. Timmy Harris has got that 3rd position back on. Jock Goodyear will be under threat from Gavin Sadler at the moment up the inside. Yellow, yellow, yellow. The grid will freeze. We'll see where they turn out. Looks like Jock Goodyear just got it over Gavin Sadler.
Yeah, that last time by, Jock Goodyear got really lucky when he was coming out of turn 4. He really lost the rear end. He pretty much almost spun it, so that's why he lost the position to Harris there. So that dropped him back further through the field. But just trying to click back to see on the replay who it was that caused that yellow. So it just looks like Hamilton and Stevens, I think it was, no, Hamilton and Knitska came together. So unfortunately, our 3rd place starter for the night, unfortunately, yeah, as you said, he's got a bit of car damage and he's finding himself dropping through the field. And I believe he's our last car on track right now. So very unfortunate for Knitska. Perhaps we stuck a commentator's curse on him at the beginning during qualifying.
Yeah, well, Bob King of the 51 car, he's our points leader coming into this round here of the WP Concreting. He's all the way back in 12th position. That's going to cost him big time. That's big points he's missing there for not being up the front.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the likes of Joel Berkeley, I'm pretty sure he won last week at Eldora as well, so he's looking to make it back-to-back wins, just like we saw in round 1 and round 2. Bob King got back-to-back wins, so this is bringing the championship in even closer now. So Bob King looked like he was going to do a bit of a runaway with the championship, but a bit of bad luck in the last 2 rounds is bringing that championship nice and close for us.
Well, for the 3rd time this race, we'll see the pace car come off the truck. Clint will take it away here on lap number 22.
We are green. Berkeley gets the start again. Harris up the inside of Hewitt already. Got Jock Goodyear trying to get with him to 3 wide. TTL coming through turn 2. Further back to the field, Sadler's having a great battle up against Dale Jordanson. Gets up the inside. Jordanson tries to carry up. Upside down.
Big one. Lewis has a huge one up there. He just got in all sorts of mess, and that will break the top for TTL. But holy crap, that was a wild ride.
Yeah, it just looked like that wall just sucked him in. He got it right up against the cushion, and the wall just sucked that rear right in, and he was all race over for him. He was upside down, so obviously trying to carry as much momentum as he can to try and keep up with his teammate Berkeley up front. But yeah, unfortunately, that's his race done. And quite often we see this from Hewitt. Hewitt's a fast driver. He's definitely one of the fastest on track, but he has so much bad luck and generally ruins his night both in the 410s and the midgets.
Yeah, unfortunate for Hewitt there in TTL 2 to see that happen to him. They were looking very strong and working well together. Now Gavin Sadler looks in to break the top 3 for TTL. Jock Goodyear and Tim Harris, they've been a bit squirmy in this race. They've both tripped over themselves a couple times, so it could be an odd chance that this could work out for them. See what can do here. Gavin Sadler, Jock Goodyear going sideways on the pace lap. Not too much further down. Dale Jordanson, Cody Murawski, John Shields, Billy Ryan, Brett Gradis, our wild card, not bloody, I don't know where that come from, but Bob King comes into the top 10. We'll see what these cars got to do with the top. So the top of the pace car lights go out.
So we've got 3 laps left to go in this main. Can Gavin Sadler get himself up to that top of 3 and beat this TTL lockout we currently have going? 3 laps on the board. pace cars in, and Berkeley is away. Harris follows him. Goodyear follows him as well. Sandler didn't get the best of starts. He's going to be careful with Jordan directly behind him. But Harris now round the outside of Goodyear, gets that second place and tries to get a run on Berkeley. As I said, 2 laps left to go on the board now. Harris all over the place, and same thing with Goodyear now loses the position to Sandler.
Sadler looks in to break the top 3 for TTL. He gets on the inside now. Jock Goodyear fell up high. This is going to be the battle of the night for sure. Goodyear gets that 3rd position back now. Gavin Sadler's got to get on the inside and make it work. The track is slick as anything. Now, 5th position, John Schultz will lock him himself there. I reckon Tim Harris needs to hold on the 2nd. Jock Goodyear now, he's got the run. He's got about half a straight. Then he go up the inside of Timmy Harris. For the slide job, hits the wall. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And that's going to be race over because we are on the white flag now with the pace car out on track, unfortunately. So we will not get a finish under the checkered flag. So they will get a checkered flag this time by with Joel Berkeley going to be your round 4 winner for the WP Concreting World of Outlaws here at Knoxville Raceway. Getting that 2nd place will be Jock Goodyear, and looking at a TTL Esports will be Tim Harris getting that 3rd place finish. Very unfortunate we get a finish under pace car there, Bailey.
Yeah, a very upsetting way to finish the race off for sure, but TTL will go off in style. They'll get allowed past the pace car to do this one under full speed. Up on the top side, Joel Berkeley left this position. Alright, so he's locked himself out. Now Gavin Sadler though in 4th position, Clint. It was very unfortunate. He had Jock Goodyear in the palm of his hand at one point and he was gone by him, but he just couldn't wrap the bottom of the track around him.
Yeah, no, he kept trying to stick to that bottom line, but you see the bottom's really, really dark and slick, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually taking rubber, so he tried to make that bottom work all night long, and unfortunately you had to be up high, but it's only the bravest who rides right up against the wall here at Knoxville.
Yeah. We're going to head through the full race results for you here for the event number 3 of round 4 of the Knoxville Raceway Australian Speedway Championships. Coming home in P1 was Joel Berkeley, Jock Goodyear in 2nd, and Timmy Harris will round out top 3 TTL. 4th was Gavin Sadler, 5th was John Schultz, 6th was Bob King, Dale Jordanson come home in 7th, Brett Gradis, our wildcard tonight, come home in 8th, Cody Morosky come home in 9th, and I've put a double 9 on mine, give me 2 seconds, rounding out top 10 was James Robbie.
Yes, and then in your 11th place finisher, Scott Butler with Kyle Stevens there in that 12th place. 13th for tonight is Brendan Hamilton with Marcus Knitska singing there in 14th. In that 15th, Billy Ryan, Lewis Hewitt, Steve Watts, Aaron Kelly, Craig Dunn, Daniel Vassell and Lewis Clark. They were your DNFs, unfortunately, in this race tonight. Unfortunately, we had a fair few DNFs. I'm pretty sure about 8 cars DNF that race, but a great race nevertheless. A lot of green flag runs with a couple of yellows there, Bailey.
It was a great race all around, and we saw Jock Goodyear have a chance at winning it, had a chance at losing it, unfortunately, but Joel Berkeley was able to bring it home for another race here. He was able to get home in 2nd in the street stocks, and along with that he was able to come home in 2nd in the midgets, and finally the 14 sprint cars he's been able to win one.
Yes, definitely. As we see, the drivers have received their trophies. They've sprayed the champagne, so we'll get them into the room now. We'll have a chat to our winner for tonight's 410 race, Joel Berkeley. We'll get him into the room now. Joel Berkeley, congratulations on picking up a round 4 of the WP Concreting World of Outlaws series. I believe that's back-to-back for you for round 3 and 4.
I think it is, but yeah, cheers, Quinn. It's good night for ATL all around, actually.
Yeah, TTL locking out to first, second, and third. You always have first, second, third, and fourth there for a while, but an unfortunate result there for one of your fellow drivers, who Lewis Stewart, who unfortunately put it into the wall. But on to you. Did you think you had the pace to hold off your fellow teammates, or were you just holding positions there to consolidate points?
I think we had the pace no matter what, but Lewis had good pace, but I think he just got the cushion too much, and which here it's really deadly and it's easy to do it. And then it was good race overall. I thought it would have been a bit more cautions, but we had the good middle stint there, and it wasn't too bad after all.
Yeah, it looked like you actually did it pretty comfortably tonight as well. You see a lot of the other drivers are taking a lot of risks with slide jobs and things like that. And then there's just you cruising up front. You can pretty much put your car high or you can put your car low. So obviously your team done a really good job with the cars up this week. Did you do many laps or many hours practice, or did you just pretty much rock up tonight and whack a set on and away you go?
Pretty much just ran what we ran last week at Eldora, which was really quick at Eldora. And it was all of us fast Eldora, and I would say transfer over here tonight. And I just tried staying safe throughout that race, trying to not commit to the top in 1 and 2 or turn 1, because that was really deadly around the top in turn 1.
Yeah, definitely. And looking at your fellow rivals as well, so Daniel Gow obviously wasn't here tonight, so he's not going to get any points. And Bob King had pretty much an awful night tonight, only finishing in 6th place, so managed to make his way forward. But you picked up good points at both of them, so that's going to possibly see you move up the leaderboard in the championship. Yeah,
we had a pretty shocking first 2 weeks of the series in both the sprint cars and the midgets, but slowly starting to get some consistency back and find some good results.
Yeah, it's like we see very often as well, is the rivalry between TTL Esports and Synergy Sim Racing. You guys must thrive off of bouncing off of each other pretty much in anything you guys race in.
In a real world, we're actually really good friends, the two teams, and we know each other and we both race each other with respect, and race each other clean, but race each other hard. And if something happens, well, I guess it happens.
No problem. Well, no doubt, being a TTL lockout, you'll have people to thank for yourself and your team.
Yeah, massive credit to the guys at TTL Esports. Everyone on the dirt team, they put in a massive amount of effort. Down to Graphics Ash Media, Hyper Stimulator, you guys for broadcasting, and Gav for hosting.
No problem. So that's Joel Berkeley, your winner here for round 4 of the WP Concrete Web Outlaws. Good luck for the rest of the series, Joel, and we'll speak to you next week, hopefully.
And hopefully so.
No problem, Bailey. You can bring in our next driver for their interview.
Yeah, Glenn, thank you very much. I'm down in pit lane with Timmy Harris. I've been able to find Jock Goodyear, but Timmy Harris, congratulations on 3rd position.
Yeah, geez, Bailey, it was a bit of an interesting one tonight, starting a little bit further back with the track the way it was, but managed to keep it in one piece just and get home for a podium.
Yeah, you and Jock got a bit squirrely at times. It looked like you're going to trip over each other, and was there a bit of a team chat going on there?
Yeah, I'm surprised we tried to take each other out, I think, 3 or 4 times in that one, and on that first bit of contact, I think we sort of scuffled up the front wing on my car, and then, she wasn't quite as good after that, but we were having a good old battle there, and only just kept it out of each other's way in the end there, but it centered on that last lap and got the 2nd place, so it was a good effort on his part, and I think the racing was pretty fun.
Yeah, Gavin Saylor looked like he was going to break you 1, 2, 3 at one point. He got in front of Jock Goodyear, and it looked like it was going to be trouble for you all, but well done on getting back into that 3rd position. Was there any specific team orders where you wanted to finish, or was it all just fighting for a position?
Nah, not really. We were all just in it for a bit of fun tonight, I think. I was surprised to even be that close to the front, to be honest, with how far back I was starting. But, we were all just having a good go and hopefully put on some good racing for you to watch.
Yeah, we definitely did a good job of it tonight. And before you let you know, we'll get them once again. Can we just, would you like to thank anyone, Timmy?
Yeah, you got to thank the team sponsors that help us out. Ash Media, Speedway Footage, SimSpec Engineering, Hyper Stimulator, Down Under Graphics, and also got to thank my team sponsor, my personal sponsor, Thy Designs. It's my brother's graphic design business, and he does some pretty awesome liveries and stuff. So if you can go check them out if you're ever in the need. So thanks, guys.
No worries, Timmy. Well, that was Tim Harris. He come home in 3rd position at TTL Esports, number 48.
will leave him down to pack up his vehicle in pit lane. Well, Clint, that was a nice, great racing tonight. If we saw the 3 events, the street stocks, midgets, and 410 sprint cars, what a wrap up will that be?
Yeah, no, it was a great race all night. I mean, ASL, they put on a great championship they have this season. So we're only 4 rounds down in a 12-round series. So it's only going to get better from here. So next week, I believe we head to USA International Raceway. So once again, another track that's going to put on some hot action.
Yeah, come back down for the 11th of April. We'll be back here again in the commentary box to bring you guys all the action of all 3 events. Just a quick wrap-up of tonight's racing street stocks. We saw Lewis Hewitt, Berkeley, and Masters take out the 1, 2, 3. For the midgets, we saw Lewis Hewitt again take out P1, Joel Berkeley 2, and Brett Jr. Morris in 3. And the final event for night, we saw Joel Berkeley, Jock Goodyear, and Tim Harris TTL lockout. It was a great racing from all 3 of them there, Clint, and went well. I'm sure next week we're just as good at USA.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm only a bit sad I'm going to miss it next week, unfortunately, because I'm making the trip to Albury for round 2 of my karting national series. So, unfortunately, you won't hear my voice online. So, but no doubt, yourself and Sean will be on mic along with Bernie and calling all the action. And I'll definitely make sure I'll tune in and watch it.
Yeah, we do have to give a big thanks to Bernie for commentating event number 1 tonight and sticking by with us for the cameras tonight. He does an awesome job at every event here at RRTV. In the meantime, guys, we want you guys to make sure you go check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/RRTV live. Head over to Twitch. We also have a stream going on over there, and also on Facebook for all the upcoming events and event details, along with the event results once we get them. In RRTV, those guys, the upcoming events for the rest of the week, we've got tomorrow night the Xfinity Thursday Night Thunder from 8:40 p.m. Make sure you tune in for that to hear Bernie Weemers commentate that one, along with Ryan Shelton. They do an amazing job, and that's an awesome event. Also, along with a 30-minute pre-race show, so you can get all the information and news about that one. Along with Friday night, we've got the Australian Online Supercar Championship Enduro at Sebring. That's a 650-kilometre race, and you'll hear myself and Bernie Weemers commentate that one, possibly with Daniel Leah in the commentary box, so make sure you stick by us. That one will commence at 6:15 p.m. with a short pre-race show. In the meantime, Clint, it was an awesome race and awesome night of racing. We can't wait to get back on the track for some more dirt action.
Yes, most definitely. It's as we said, it's going to be heated up throughout this series. So, but thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight to watch the Down Under Graphics Street Stock series, along with the race merch, midgets, and the WP Concreting World of Outlaws, round 4 of the ASL Australia Speedway League Speedway Championship.
So on behalf of Bernie Weemers, Clint Smith, my name is Bailey Hall, and we hope you guys are able to join us tomorrow night. Have a good night.